in this house. There's some whores 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 in this house. There's some
One, two, 1, 2. Yeah. Guess who's in the house? 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores
1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. Come on in. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. This bass is crazy. Ooh, hit it. Happy Sunday, everybody. Yeah.
whores in this house. There's some 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 whores in this house. Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Whores in this house. There's some 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 whores in this house.
We're going to give another minute, let everybody finish pulling up before we get this started. Happy Sunday, everybody.
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores in this house.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. This is your host, Ace World, coming to you live for another exciting episode of Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. I would like to, at this time, introduce my lovely co-host, T. Roni Robinson. What up, T. Roni? What's good?
Hello. Hey, Ace. Hello, Sunday Night Smokers. Happy Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
How y'all doing out there in the world? How's your week gone?
All good, all good. Business
Yes.
as usual. We have Kimmy Kali Powers in the house.
Hi, Kimmy Kali.
We got Tony D in the
Hello,
house.
Tony D. Kimmy Kali, I think you got to call in on this one, even on the radio. You
Um,
can.
yes. What's the name? I sent you an invite, Kimmy. Just in case you may want to get a piece of this. This may be a hot one right here, and I need to get some female perspective on this. So for all the sisters in the building, when you come in, I will give you an invite up. I just want to make sure enough people are inside the building before I jump the presentation off
Yes.
and all that good stuff. How was your week so far? Your weekend, shall I say? How was your weekend going, Roni? We're gonna filibuster
Uh,
for 2 minutes before we jump it off.
it was good.
Yeah.
It was really busy. They had the show. I didn't get to go to the show, but they had the show. So claps to the production, Theater Cover Productions, for getting it done.
Nice, Nice. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, this was a nice, smooth weekend for me. Not too much going on. I like to keep it nice and smooth, not too complicated. We just we keep it smooth. You know what I'm saying? That's the style right now. We're keeping it smooth, baby.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Big up to everybody keeping it smooth out there. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it smooth. So today on let's see what we got in the bag. Let's see, in today's bag, we have our modern grandmothers passing down 304, or should I say culture, 304 culture to their daughters. Okay. We're gonna take a look at this. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, there's some in this house. So what I'm saying basically, right? And
Okay.
what we're gonna work with, right? We're gonna review this topic. We have a few hashtags also on this that could be read from the top of the screen, obviously. And Frida Gillespie, I'm gonna send you an invite also. I need to get some input from the sisters on this. So I'm gonna send you an invite in case if you'd like to come on. You can just do audio. It doesn't have to be a video. We are a radio show, of course, so it doesn't have to be a video presentation. So I'm gonna bring you down, Roni. Okay, hang with
Okay.
me for a minute there, young lady. I'm gonna bring down the smoke. All right, I'm gonna bring up the book. And for those that don't know, this is the Pink Book. So without further ado, let's get into this presentation, and we'll come back in a few minutes, and we'll have a little discussion about this. So enjoy the presentation, everybody. Let's go. All right. So we're gonna bring this from the top. You can see the audio. I mean the visual here. So we're gonna bring this. Got the volume jammed up. My bad. So we're gonna start this from the top. Let's go.
Daughter dancing on TikTok. The mother here in the video, the woman in the blue, that's Bernice Burgos. She's well known with many people following her on Instagram. Now, in my opinion, I believe that this is inappropriate, out of order. A mother should not be putting herself out there like this, especially doing this with her own daughter. In the TikTok video, Bernice added this to the video. She said, when you're teaching her the game, but she can't get ahead of herself. For anybody who want to answer this below, what game is Bernice teaching her daughter? I can tell you one, it's not about how to become a wife. They're not passing down recipes, family history, legacy. Her mother is introducing her to the same lifestyle that she's a part of, sabotaging her daughter intentionally or unintentionally. Same result. When the Shade Room posted this, Young Miami from the City Girls, she chimed in on this and she said, as they should. Mothers are allowed to have fun with us. Ain't nothing better than having the time of life with my mom. We adults now. Over 50,000 people like that comment from Young Miami alone. You have women in there calling other women and their mothers boring if they did not do this. You have a person like Young Miami influencing other women when she was influenced by her toxic mother. This is how they programmed the women and everybody else to accept this bad behavior. Her mama just got out of prison earlier this year. If you don't know the story, Young Miami's mama, she was busted in Macy's back in 2009 in the Aventura Mall down near Miami-Dade County. If you're from Dade or Broward County, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She was in there stealing purses. The police started chasing her. Next thing you know, she ran into a woman who was in a security car. The woman lost her life on impact. She was only 6 to 5 years in prison. That was in 2017. So this took place in 2009 in Aventura. 2017, that's when she was sentenced, 5 years. Now in 2021, she was released, came out, had a party, everybody celebrating like she's a hero. So of course, Young Miami, she has no problem with this. This is how she was raised. And you know what? That's how she's going to raise her own daughter. So this is why I say that these women, they're not passing down anything to their daughters, but real traditions. And if it's not that, you know what they're passing down? Bills, burdens, and brokenness. These mothers today, they are not instilling good things into their kids. Another thing they're always teaching them is materialism. Everywhere you go, they're showboating online, showing off things. Meanwhile, there's a serious financial crisis happening right now. Check out this story from Yahoo News. originally published by USA Today. The title, A State of Constant Crisis, Black Households Struggle with Rising Rents and Housing Shortage. Shout out to Alonzo from New Jersey for sending me this story. I appreciate you for that, Alonzo. But before we get into it, please take a second to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. Go ahead and click that button along with the notification bell. Turn on all notifications so that you don't miss any updates. If you're new to the channel, include new subscriber in your comment, and I'm going to try my best to welcome all of you to the channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the story. It says when Keisha Green, a single mother of 5 in Dallas, moved into her 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath townhome in 2017, the rent was $1,380. Now it's $1,700, and her household budget is as tight as her family's living quarters. So you have this woman, she's living with her 5 kids all alone. And for the women out there, the younger women for sure, don't go around having a bunch of babies that you can't afford. And not this woman right here, because I'm not sure what her situation is, but there are a lot of them out there that's planning situations like this now. Yes, you have some women out there planning to be a single mother. They're either having babies to get money from a man, or they're having babies to get assistance from the government. The hike in prices may impact a lot of renters, but it's more detrimental for single family homes. $1,380 to $1,700. It's people experiencing higher hikes than that. I know an investor that was renting an apartment for like $1,200, and in 1 year they increased the price to $1,900. And at first they didn't think the tenants would pay it, but they did. And stuff like that is happening all over the country. So now she's paying $1,700, living in a 2-bedroom house with 6 people, only 1 full bathroom. The article goes on to say before C19, she had 2 jobs and a dream of renting a bigger place or buying a home. Then 2 paychecks became 1. She said, being a single mom, I can barely afford this. And that's the thing. A lot of people would think this would be common sense. But you have some people out there that just make decisions and they don't think. They have kid after kid after kid. And that's because they always believe that it's somebody out there that's going to save them. But it says Black households that have been shut out of home ownership by racial discrimination and historic inequities in education, employment, and housing were in the grips of the housing crisis long before the pandemic. Now, with the supply of affordable housing shrinking and rents soaring across the country, no one is being hit harder. And this is so true. What I'm talking about is impacting a lot of people, men, women, different races. But we have to be honest that this is hurting Black households more than anybody else. And out of those Black households, the single parent homes, they're going to struggle the most. Like she said, being a single mom, I can barely afford this. And for the young ladies out there, don't mess up your life like this. I know it's very crazy to a lot of people, but you do have women out there planning to be a single mother. Just like in this video with Light Skin Keisha and the host of the Poor Minds podcast. The host on there, she was talking about planning to have kids, but also planning to do alone. And it just baffles me how women today, they are willing to sign up for this type of struggle. They will honestly struggle by themselves with kids. Sign up for that instead of getting along with a man. The article says owning a home builds wealth and provides a safety net, particularly in times of crisis. But just 44% of Black households live in homes they own versus nearly 3/4 of white households. So that's 44% of Black people live in a house they own, and nearly 75% of white people live in houses that they own. Black people are more than twice as likely to rent as white people, according to Pew Research Center's analysis of census data. Now get this, while all of this is going on, there's also a shortage of affordable housing. The rental assistance programs, the money's drying up from that as well. You even have a bunch of people on Section 8. They got kicked off within this last year. Out here on Instagram, all over social media, posting their extravagant gifts and money, signing up for PPP loans. And then you have the people who work in those offices that's providing the affordable housing, the Section 8 and stuff. They went back and looked at those lists. And if they saw that a person got a PPP loan, they said, hey, you don't need this anymore. You just told the SBA over here that you have a business that's making money. And they gave you a loan based on that information. So it looks like you no longer qualify, right? Yes, this has happened to a lot of people all over the country. I've heard many stories about this. Women who signed up for these PPP loans talking about they had a business and they ended up losing their Section 8.
If a guy wants a second chance with a girl who got away, or a woman who's slipping away right now, there is one simple texting technique any man can use.
Back to the article. Making matters worse, billions of dollars in federal emergency rental assistance have not reached families in need as eviction moratoriums across the country lapse. Nearly 12 million adults living in rental housing are behind on rent, 23% of them Black. That's according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. They said the coming wave of evictions will disproportionately displace Black households, which are most likely to be behind on rent payments. They're saying that Black renters, particularly Black women, are at the highest risk. And then this article, they mentioned another woman, Latoya. She was priced out of her Cali hometown, had to move in a neighboring city where they're saying that she rents a 500 square foot home. It's a 1-bedroom home in her landlord's backyard, and she's paying $850 a month for that. She and her 11-year-old son, they have to alternate weeks sleeping on a pull-out couch. And she gave them a quote too. She said these days, anxieties over the scarcity of affordable housing are running high among friends and family. But you really couldn't tell, right? Because they'll tell you all day long that Black women are doing great. But the numbers, they're telling a different story. Like, what's really going on? So I'm going to leave this article below in the description if you want to check out this full article. But I see there's a big disconnect here. Winter is obviously approaching us. You have single mothers out here with 5 kids trying to do it all on their own. No man in sight, no help, barely have a job making a decent wage, and they are attempting to make ends meet. Decades ago, women started kicking men to the curb and they replaced the men with the government. The problem is they did not plan for this. They never planned for the government to fail them. But they put more faith into lawmakers than their own men. They literally said they don't need a man for nothing. Women saying they could do bad all by themselves. So much so, they're willing to be cramped up in a 2-bedroom house with 6 people in it. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Single mother, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 kids living in a 2-bedroom. I mean, really think about that. It's just not making any sense out here. Stop going around making all these babies with no plan and no man and no commitment. It's nothing cute about this. It's nothing funny about this. At this point, everyone should know better. But hey, that's all I have on it. Let me know what you think about this below in the comments. Thank you, Tyrone W., Mike P., HLC Jr., Trey Shell, and Dark Power. I appreciate all of you for your support. You can support this channel as well. The links to Cash App and PayPal are below in the description.
Well, let's talk about it. Bring them out, bring them out. Hey, bring them out, bring them out. Give me a second before we dive into this here. Tony D in the building. What's up, Tony D? What's good? How you doing? How you doing, big brother? You good?
I apologize for the delay. I was hanging out with my son earlier, and I come back. You had started right when I was getting back from McDonald's, and then I see mama and daughter hand in hand, leotard bodysuit with the thongs on, and then you're gonna sit here and talk about Section 8 prices going up and people trying to have kids on their own without no daddy around. And then how much? I'm gonna let the ladies go first because I feel another breath control coming. Go ahead, bro.
Control style.
What's
All
up,
right, let me.
How you doing, lady? Kimmy Callie in the house. What's going on?
Kimmy, what's good? How you doing? You still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you. I always be telling you I be with you, and I be here. I just be sitting here quiet, waiting for my turn to pounce.
No doubt, no doubt.
She said
Big up
pounce.
I was in the house ready to pounce.
Mhm.
Me and Tony D gonna sit back for a second and let's see how I can start this. Actually, let me throw 2 cents in before we start the game. I know.
Yeah, I
what,
think the guy should go first anyway.
Okay, cool. This is the opposite
Yeah,
of
let
ladies
the
first.
guys go first.
Fellas first. Fellas first. Okay, let's get at it. All right, I'm gonna start by saying,
This is a setup. Don't do it. This is a setup.
I don't care. I'm always just a little bit. I'm always ready for the setup. You know me. I'm ready for the smoke. I stay ready for the smoke. That's why it's my nickname. It's called Free Smoke. So I'm going in. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. So check it out. My thought process on this is this. Like, and you've heard this on my show before, possibly if you're a regular listener to the Sunday Night Smoke podcast. You've heard this before, not from me, but from several other people on presentations. Hit the door. Who is it? What are the pizza? Pizza and McDonald's?
Who
Goddamn,
that?
Tony.
My oldest
The
boy
thing
ordered some
is,
dinner, so yeah, my oldest boy ordered some dinner, so that's his DoorDash coming in.
DoorDash. Make sure you give DoorDash a tip. Big up to DoorDash, even
Big
though
up
we
to
don't do
DoorDash.
food.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Gotta raise the roof
I'm
for
getting
them, though, for
sidetracked.
real.
Back to the
Tony D,
story.
be quiet. Let Sunday Night Smoke say what he got to say, bro.
No, I had to set up. I had to set the DoorDash promo up because we usually don't get doorbell rings once the show starts. Right? So you may have heard this before. If you a hoe, don't let your daughter become a hoe. Okay, because it's called preventative maintenance. Okay, but obviously Bernie's Burgos didn't want that. She wanted to quote unquote school her to the game. So she's in the mirror teaching her daughter how to, hike her rear end in the air, for the little pictures that they take for TikTok and those Instagram, where you can be contracted out to get dutied on overseas and all that good stuff. Like these are the things that are going on. And I myself, if I had a daughter, and I say thank God I don't. If I had a daughter right now in today's day and times, I would be extremely nervous if I had a young daughter. Okay. And the reason why is that the thug and thought culture has taken over the inner city communities. Okay. So we talked about the thugs and the bozos and the babies are us, the serial baby daddies 2 weeks ago. Okay. So now let's talk about the thought side of the culture. Okay.
Mm.
Mothers should not be teaching their daughters how to hike their rear end up in the pictures in bathrooms in mirrors and stuff like that. Like you don't want to put your daughter out there and get her over sexualized at a young age or even at an older age. You just don't want that to happen because there are consequences that come with that, like uh bad reputation. But that seems to be out of the window now because we live in a culture where it's cool to be a quote unquote hoe. Okay. For men, it's cool to be a quote unquote a thug. So this street culture of pimps, hoes, thugs, and thoughts is, like I said earlier, ruining the inner city communities. Okay, so that was just my intro onto it because I've got a lot more to say, but I'm not gonna hog the floor. Tony D rubbing your hands together like Birdman, you ready to cook? What's good? You came in actually once you came in and you saw the matching spandex. You just missed the. Let me show you how to hike your rear end in the air so you
I
can
saw it.
take pictures
I
online.
saw
Oh,
it.
you caught that too? All right, then let's go. Damn it, Tony, get it together.
A lot of this stems
You know,
from the women who have had previous heartbreaks. A lot of this also stems from the women who have seen what their mother have gone through with the wrong dude or through a stressful situation. Ladies also want to be known for not only being good women, but good mothers and being attractive at being all three. I mean, being attractive and being the both of them. So here's my thing. Ladies, you already look all right in the first place. Do not compare yourself to anybody else because just because they look good doesn't mean they're any good at home. Some of these women with these bodies can't cook. Some of these women with these bodies won't work. Some of these women with these bodies don't know how to do nothing around the house, and they ain't no good in bed in the first damn place. I got all day on this one. So let's be clear.
we're gonna get a
Single
couple of.
moms out here having kids intentionally without the fathers is a problem to me. Yes, you get a lot more financial assistance. Yes, you get a lot more government assistance. Yes, you don't have to work as much. I got all that to where you can just provide for the kids and not worry about anything else. Fully understood. I'm not going to lie. When I was in Tuskegee in the early 90s, me and my girlfriend was trying to get an apartment together so we could finish school. They told her She can get the apartment if she had kids, but she can't get an apartment if she's with me. So the apartment thing I know about. Yeah, that the apartment thing I knew about. I'm not going to sit back and tell ladies to go out there and have kids and not worry about a daddy at all. I used to talk about women like that in other names. I said, y'all hoes is crazy. And I would say it just like that. I said, who the hell has kids without the daddy around on purpose? That don't make no damn sense to me. I didn't realize how long it had been going on. Yes, I've seen my mother rape me and my sister without my fault. That don't mean I was trying to put my oldest son's mother or my baby son's mother in the same situation. That's ridiculous because I saw her struggle. All of the kids who have seen their parents go through the struggle as a single parent, do not put yourself in that same situation. It goes for male and female. I'm not gonna put this all on the women. It goes for male and female because some dudes want to take care of the kids by themselves. You see, I'm doing it now.
What you doing, brother? Keep up the good work.
But this comes from me being in a comfortable situation. A lot of these single parents aren't in comfortable situations. Seriously. So do not stress yourself out that hard. When you become stressed, your body starts to sag. Then you want to go out there and start looking like Kim Kardashian when you're really walking around here looking like Charlize Theron and Jamie Lee Curtis now. So I can get back in the days of Halloween. I'm here all day. So it's okay. Appreciate it. So say hi to everybody. Sorry.
What up, Jake? What's good?
Hey, Lord, you're Batman. You know that, right? Remember when you was
We
Batman?
know you, Batman. We
Tell
figured it
you
out.
Batman. Tell you Batman. Get out of here, boy. But either way,
We are masked for Halloween.
mom's getting out of jail and partying. I give them a little bit of that. T-One, I know what you were saying. She went to jail for this, she went to jail for that. I got that. But she got out. I can't deny anybody who gets out their right to party and to hang out, and if you want to roll with your kids.
Yeah, we're about to take the Halloween mask back out. Jason,
Go for it, boy. Came in and stole the show like baby Darth Vader on me. Man, go over there. But yeah, the biggest thing I want to tell the ladies: do not stress yourself out here trying to impress yourself for a man. A man is going to be happy with you for being who you are, no matter how you look. And I will say it like that because we've seen some of these folks that people are marrying, and we're all wondering what the hell. We're not understanding their happiness. Yeah, it's real talk. We're not understanding their happiness. I've seen some couples. I'm like, huh? Y'all really took pictures smiling with them teeth? But they chilling and they party and they vacation and they taking all the pictures. And Batman, go on somewhere for Robin hit you. Go on. I'm just saying, it's serious business out here. Y'all got to be happy. Don't go out there trying to overdo yourself.
What are you talking about, Batman?
Nothing. Go over there. Overdoing yourself is where this is all wrong at. Trying to make yourself attractive for all men can backfire. When you walk around just looking like sex and not looking like stability and comfortability, you become old to us after a while. I just broke my law telling y'all that. But I'm going to stop right there. Ladies, it's your turn. Y'all set me up. I almost fell all the way through, but I'm holding on to the edge and I'm about to go up before I fall and slip and lose my grip. Go ahead.
Take a sip, my man. What's your whistle? What's good? What's good? Roni, talk to me. Or Kimmy, whichever one of you would like to
go ahead, Roni, do your thing, girl.
So I have 2 points for this. The first point is well, 3. This is my disclaimer. My disclaimer is sorry.
She got much to say.
She's trying to look at you. Ellie, you should have went first. Okay,
this is your house, Roni. You do what you want.
Right. You the co-host. Do your thing.
What are you talking about here?
What the topic here right now. This is not saying a representation of all women of color, saying that all women of color are thought cultures. That's
obviously we're talking about the ones that are doing what we saw on the video. If
we're
the shoe
purposefully
don't fit, we got to quit. You already know that. Everybody should know that.
We're purposefully talking about you, ladies. Okay, so now that the disclaimer's out the way, first, Black women, we always have something to prove. We are always trying to self-justify. So when I see things like this, I get it. I get why it's done, because Black women, we're never considered beautiful. We're always considered second.
That's
So
not. Hmm.
so what happens is, because we're competing with so many other cultures physically, we feel like we have to overextend ourselves physically in order to look or play that role, to get the eyes, to get the looks, to get caught, to get the net, right? We have to play the role. I'm not saying it's the right, but as a black woman, I can feel, I can understand how and why, even at the age of, let's say, 50, 60, we feel like we have to do more, because we feel like as black women, we always have to do more. I mean, I remember there was a survey one time from different races, and black women were at the bottom of the list as far as attractiveness. So it was like Latinas, white women, of course, Asians, like we were dead last on the list. So as a kid, and culturally, goes into my first point.
Hmm.
You know, Generation X, we we struggled so much financially. We were at the cusp of both worlds. We are at the cusp of the technology world, and we're at the cusp of the end cusp of the broke world. So millennials, when Generation X became parents, we either chose the high road or we chose the low road. And a lot of times when we chose that low road, we took everybody with us, including our kids. So we always had to justify. So my kids don't have to think about nothing. It's all about money, money, money. It's all about this, material, material, material. So I agree totally with what the young lady was saying about values not being passed down. These kids nowadays, they don't even know how to, if they don't, if I, again, maybe just me, but if, we didn't have a laundry when I was growing up, we had to wash clothes by hand in the tub. Where, and then we went to the laundry on occasion. But these kids, they don't know those things because Generation X, our fault. We don't teach them. We haven't taught them from generation to generation. We lost the great grandmothers in our representation. So that was my first point.
Hmm.
Um, my second point about the no plan, no man, no commitment.
Hold on.
I
Let's nah. Let's work it. Let's hang on a second, Roni. I'm sorry to thank you. Let Kimmy get on the
Go
first
ahead,
half.
Kimmy.
We're
Sorry.
gonna work it. Yeah, we're gonna work it around twice. We're gonna work the room twice. I'm sorry about that, because we want to
Oh,
we want to break.
No
The
problem.
video is broken down into like maybe two parts. So we want to get the first half, as in
okay. What was the first half we were talking about again? Because
the
that was a
first half
lot.
was the first half was
The
the first half
thoughtism,
was
right?
teaching the daughter Thoughtism, and we're not getting passed down cook recipes. We don't know how to cook clean, as Sister Harazad Ali says. We can't even cook and clean. How you supposed to keep a man? The men you want don't want you. Not for long term.
Mm-mm.
Maybe for short term, because if you dress like that, it says sex all on it, and that's all you're going to be valued for. Go ahead, Kimmy. I'm sorry.
Well, unfortunately,
Hmm.
the grandmothers, mothers, daughters, and all that, they're all starting to span between the ages of basically like 12 to maybe 15, 16, 17, maybe at the most 20 years apart. So
Mm-hmm.
we all grown up together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So since we're all growing up together, that's why we can be thoughts together.
Mm.
Because I'm trying to grow up, because I had you when I was 15, didn't have no business having sex, but girl, I'm trying to grow and I'm going to teach you the game. The most jacked up game that you could try to teach any male or female ever. You got to use what you got to get what you want.
Big facts.
No.
Big facts.
No, I am so sorry. My mother is deceased. My mother got one of the biggest compliments she could have ever received as a woman, as a mother, and as a wife. Because what she did, she pushed it down to me and my sister. We ain't never been out in the streets dressing like hoochies. We've never been out in the streets dressing like thoughts, because that is not the way that my mother carried herself. And the lady that gave me the compliment, I was like, oh my God. I said, I guess didn't pay attention to that. I said, but you know what? You're absolutely right. My mother had standards.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was married to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
My mom was not
It's
walking
real. It's
around
nice.
looking like she wasn't walking around looking like no hoochie. So therefore, me and my sister were. We all, and even now to this day, and my sister, I think is like 60, and I'm like knocking 50 in the door. We make sure that we don't have any, I guess, explicit clothing on.
Mhm.
We got stuff that will cover our butts. We have stuff that will cover our arms. We're not out here walking around like straight up flat off thoughts. There's a nice good big time span. I think my mom might have been 30 when
Mhm.
she had me. So we can't all grow up together and expect our little girls not to walk around looking like thoughts.
Facts. Oh boy. So for example, okay, Kimmy, that's a good. You definitely brought up some good points. So for example, the thumbnail that's under Tony B, for example, you see the mother is on. Everybody can see that the mother is on what would be if you're viewing a screen on the right hand side, the one with 70% of her rear end showing. Believe it or not, that's the mother.
See, that's the
The
question I was
mother.
going to
Okay,
ask. Which one was the mother?
the
Yeah.
daughter,
The one in the green dress, right?
Mhm.
the
The
mother
greenish
is the
green.
one with all of the ass coming out. Okay, being exposed to the
Yep.
public, and the daughter is the one. If the daughter was maybe let's see a foot taller, her ass would be sticking out the bottom of her dress also. And I guess this woman thinks it's cute, but I can
It
guarantee
ain't.
when you look on her left hand, there is no ring. You know why? Because men, we like it, we'll look at it, we think it's all hot and yeah, ma, you popping. No, we're just getting some eye candy, and we really wouldn't consider you um somebody that you would want to raise a family with, because if you look at it, you get married to this lady here, your daughter is going to end up like that. So, I mean, that's just a word of thought for ladies. Women are not being trained to be wives anymore because
Nope.
of
No.
today's society, this whole equal lib and men and women are the same. We're not the same. Okay?
No.
We're not the same. We don't work the same
No.
sexually,
No.
mentally, physically. We're two totally different things going on. OG classic in the building. What's up, bro?
I love what Kimmy Callie said about they're growing up together. That is an aspect I did forget to mention. She's 100% correct. I see a lot of that.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
They
because they
are
started
growing up
off.
together. Yeah, they started off
Yeah.
young and never lived their lives.
Yep.
That is an
And they
absolute
still
truth.
trying to get their adulthood on,
Yes.
but you got a kid.
Yep.
Can
So
we
for
explain the
thing,
problems of why you're I mean,
The
mom,
problem is, I mean, it happens. They had kids young. That happens. I'm not
Yep.
disrespect. I never disrespected single moms, even when I
never.
was a single dude. I mean,
Never.
I did a conversation about. I think I was talking to Brother Shannon about that one day. All the single moms I knew. I mean, what I would do. You had kids, okay, cool. You gotta be careful about who you bring around your kids. That's fine. First thing I'm gonna do is feed your kids.
Facts.
Took them out to eat like it was nothing. They all miss me. The kids will
You know
tell
why?
me to this day, if we don't remember nothing about you, you made sure we was full and we wasn't on ramen noodles and Happy Meals. You took us to here. You took us. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. When I came over there, your mom gave me time of day. I saw how serious she was about you. You got to respect what people have going on, not just get what you want. And that's the first sign I used to show women. Go on out there and get your thing. You get tight, I'll feed them. You make sure to get the bills. I'll get them some food.
Right.
I'll get them
That's
some food.
but that's a stand-up dude. But you know what the
Yeah,
problem comes in from? The problem is she didn't procreate with a stand-up dude to begin with. That's the
that's fact.
problem a lot of times, right?
That's
So
fact.
as OG Classic would say, I'm reading his quote. Do you think the movie Claudine is a fair representation of what has occurred in our community, minus the good ending? Do you
I
guys
never
remember the movie?
saw it. I ain't gonna lie. I never saw the movie.
That's a
never saw
classic.
Claudine. Claudine
No, I
was
did
a
not.
Tony
No,
Oh my
B,
gosh.
Tony B, do me a
I'm
favor. Tony B,
serious.
do me a favor. Stand still. Look at me in the screen. Watch Claudine. Stop fucking around. Are you kidding me?
I never saw it. I'm serious. I never saw it.
Claudine is a movie that was a trend-setting movie about a single mother. I'm not gonna ruin the story. Okay, it was a
Don't even
single
tell me.
mother.
Y'all go ahead and talk about it. I'm gonna just watch. Don't even tell
No,
me because I
I
gotta
mean
watch
he can tell you
Mahogany
the base.
again.
He can tell you
Yeah.
the base.
Okay.
Leave it at
At least give him the base.
Yeah.
Blaze, ain't nobody ask you.
Please.
Frida Gillespie says, "Wow, Tony D,
Yeah,
really?
I never saw. I straight up, I
Only
never saw
brother
that
that
movie.
never seen that movie. God damn it! Come on,
I
Tony
never
D.
saw it. I never saw that. I never saw Mahogany. None of that. I haven't for real. Oh my God, all of y'all killing me. That's all right though.
You know what? You get off the
Something to
live,
brag
dude.
to
You
brag
got
about, all right, brother? Black man, that's not something to brag about. We gotta see those movies. Stop
Okay.
saying the movies
yes,
you didn't see.
yes,
Can you
right.
give him the
Stop
basics?
saying the essential Negro films that we need to see that you didn't see. Stop saying it.
Blaze, I appreciate your help, but you're kind of minimal right now. Nothing personal, bro.
Blaze, Blaze of Lasso in the building. What's good? Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm sorry. We kind of went. Yeah.
So I was
Claudine,
asking,
OG
I was
classic.
asking you to give him the base of the movie. Like you don't have to tell him what the movie is, though.
That's what I'm just gonna say. It's a single mother story, but just like OG Classic said, do you think that's a representation of what has occurred in our community, minus the good ending? Because the good ending is when the single mom meets a Tony D type of stand-up gentleman that
Right.
has no problem with you being a mother and has no problem with feeding the kids and and embracing your children. But most men, realistically, after Generation X, they don't want to deal with it. To be honest,
Yep.
if you have a kid, they're like, okay, well, we could have a good time and everything, but the stepdad game is dead.
Yeah.
So I'd like to let all the young ladies know that stepdads are not pulling up anymore. Okay, because if you're a single, okay, if you're a single,
Eh,
a lot of times, listen, the stepdads are older stepdads, but not very many young men. And when I say
I give it a young man. I give it a 20s. I give it a 20s. That's
everybody,
true.
I
I'll
don't
give it a
mean
20s.
everybody. When I make statements, these are not general statements. These are
I
for
feel you.
those that it applies to. Okay. So what I
I
will
feel
say right now, as far as millennials, okay, number one, the marriage rate is through the floor because nobody's getting married any damn more to start
Right.
with. Okay. And you go check it out your damn self if you don't believe me. Nobody's getting married anymore. And
Because
and
nobody
the
has
millennials are
standards.
not marrying. Zennials are definitely not marrying. And because you got to look at it, right? If the average, if the quality, okay, and let's say 50%, okay, half of the black women are, or it doesn't have to be about a black or white thing. But since we're talking about our community, okay, we're gonna leave it there. All right. 50% of the women are thotting. The other 50% are good, wholesome, upstanding women. Okay. The problem is the thought overshadows the good looking woman because I mean the wholesome woman because the thought has everything out, skin tight, everybody's looking, all of that. So of course they're gonna get more attention, but the attention that they're getting usually is bad business. Like one thing before Pastor Mike. For example, when I was in high school, all the hot chicks, uh when I went to the reunion 20 years later, the hot chicks were mostly single moms. I hate to say it. And there's nothing against a single mom. But the thing is,
No.
when you attract that negative press, a lot of times the end results are not going to be good. If you got sex written all over you, you're going to be taken as a sex object. And I'll pass the mic. Go ahead, Rona. You can bring up the second point and go on to the second half of the presentation as far as the planning to be a single mom,
The planning to be, because
um,
that's true story.
stuff like that.
That's true story.
Yeah,
But what I would like to
go
add
for it.
to the
Whatever.
whole thought
Go in.
culture and talking about us growing up,
I
because
love the
I
thought.
was
Go for it. Hmm.
I wasn't I wasn't a hoe back then. It was hoes, so I wasn't a hoe. But when you go to the club, you go to a party, you look nice. You wear the skirts, you wear the shoes.
Look at the
You
smile.
gotta do
Look at the
stuff.
smile.
Anyway, so let's talk about this because what is the culture for now?
But when you party, it's different. You
Culturally,
always get dressed
this
up to party,
is
of
different
course.
things, right? So
Hmm.
anyway, let's talk about the girls who plan on being moms, right? Which is,
Without
like I
a
said, true
father.
story
Mhm.
without a man. And I, the plan is because, and I see this happen because,
Mhm.
like the young lady said, we are, we have, we have taught our young girls you don't need a man for anything. And this is so that we as Black women don't get hurt, which is why I was trying to connect the two from my first point to my second point, which is
Connect it
that
now.
Black women, we're always fighting for our self-worth. And because we're always fighting for our self-worth, we we kind of isolated purposefully everyone else. And the whole that's where the whole thoughtism comes in, because it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do me, right?
Mm,
And it
mm,
becomes a selfish kind of gesture where it's like, I'm gonna do me. But the thing you have to worry about when you're teaching your kids that is, and again, another problem as Black women, we disappear, we get raped, we get killed, but you don't see that in the news. Okay, the dangers of having your child or persons related to you walking around this way and planning on living this lifestyle is that it's a death sentence. I mean, you're lucky if you do make it and become hip hop, girlfriends or whatever, but that's very slim. And I know, Ace, you were saying that it's 50-50 with thought versus regular, but that you have to slim that number a lot bigger, because it's probably like 20-25% thought. And it does, I agree
okay.
with you, it does
I
get
got
overshadowed because it's all you see on TV, it's
you.
all
Hmm.
you hear on the radio.
Hmm.
That's what's promoted for Black women. That's what's shown. And
Hmm.
even when you have movies, even Tyler Perry movies and all this stuff,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
culturally we're attitudey, we're this, we just it's we're sassy, we're always defined,
Okay.
and we always trying to fight through that division. And so I understand the culture and you wanting to do stuff with your daughter because you're like, okay, well, I could do that by myself and I make my own money and I do
Mm,
me. But at the same time, you're risking your life and you're putting your child at risk, putting your child out there,
mhm.
because thoughtism is, you can die being a thought. There's no happy ending. Just like being a thug, there's no happy ending.
Nope.
There's no
Real
happy
bad.
ending being a thought.
Hmm.
So
They both
sorry.
work hand in hand. Thoughts and thugs, same thing. The ending is usually not happy. Okay, because the cool kids I knew in high school, besides myself, and not the ones in my circle, but before I became a cool kid, I was a freshman once, and I saw the cool kids, and I'm like, I'm cool, but they just don't know me yet. Okay, a lot of the cool kids are now homeless men on the street now. Okay, and I just want to put that out there. The gangster, the thug that you used to look up to, like yeah, they got that shit locked down, bro. They run shit. They not running nothing now. Only thing they running is the numbers off their jail sentence, or they're running from police, or they're running from rivals that are ready to pop a cap in that ass. Okay,
Or they
so
running from the child support.
or they're running from the child support, the courts, the justice system, or even the baby mama, and all the above. Go ahead, Kimmy, give me something.
Man, okay, so nobody actually I'm really okay, so I'm like I'm just kind of shocked that there's actually women out there that's basically signing up and basically preparing themselves for them to be a single mom. Now, I was a single mom, but I didn't sign up for that. Me
Hmm.
and my son's father was supposed to be married, even though the baby came first. I was like, oh no, bro. I'm like, this is what my mom and my dad said that I have to have. These are the requirements. And yeah, it all happens to everybody. But hey, the baby came
Right.
first. Do
Mhm.
we
Hmm.
supposed to be getting married and doing our thing? But okay, I'm also not going to sit here and just let you ruin my life
Nope,
because I have to live for me and this kid.
true.
I got to hit it and quit it whichever way that I can. And my parents instilled in me, you got to go out there and get yours because you can't count on us and you can't on nobody else to do it. You have to
Mhm.
do it for you. So I need you to get all of this that I'm trying to put into you. I need you to get this and understand this because I'm not always going to be here to tell you.
Mm, facts. Strong words. Strong words. Um, so on just on that same on the single mother topic, right? Like I said, no disrespect to single mothers, of course. But the lady in the video, let's use her as an example, okay? The lady in the video, she had 5, not 1. This is a reference to the KRS-One. Not 1, not 2, number 3,
Not
4,
3,
but
not 4.
5. Okay? 5. Some pregnancies happen. One is like, and think about it, right? For the average gentleman out there, okay, let's say Generation X. I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm gonna put it at that because the Gen Xer, we would actually date a woman with children, or even consider a serious relationship, a woman with a child, but maybe not 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. That's a lot to take on, if you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
for the gentleman, that's like, okay, she's a great woman. She has 5 kids. The other girl, she's a great woman. She has 0 or 1 kid. What do you think? They're equally great as individuals. What do you think the logical solution is going to be? The choice is going to be the woman with 0 or 1 child, of course, because it's a lot less overhead, a lot less traffic, a lot less baby daddies interfering in your life, calling the girl, I mean, the woman, and this and that. I got to speak to my kids. And that's if she's lucky and the father of the child is even participating in her life.
Bingo.
Okay. That's if she's lucky. But the guy playing stepdaddy, it's not lucky for him. As
No.
KS would say, that's a shitty job. Okay, to be honest,
Yeah.
because you don't really get the recognition you deserve. Okay,
Mhm.
and then when it comes time to discipline, some women will not let you discipline their children, of course.
Yeah.
And then when the kid gets old after you didn't invest it all the time, and then it's time to discipline them, they'll say, "You ain't my daddy." So what logical, successful, hardworking man that had his nose on the grindstone for 20 years to work himself up from nothing to become a six-figure nigger? Well, who the fuck wants that? What, are you kidding me? Not an option. So all the sisters out there, um, let's if possible, marry before you carry. Okay? I'm just saying it usually will work out better that way because if there's a divorce, there are certain things in place that'll
Can I
go
say it in
ahead.
a better way?
Go ahead. Go for it. Go for it. There's always
Only
a better way.
because to
Mhm.
say marry from a again,
Good
maybe
talk.
it's just me. To hear from a
Go for it.
male saying marry before you carry is almost condescending because it's like, okay,
Is it?
well,
Mhm.
well,
You
if
married
a
before you carry.
man, right,
Yeah, I don't got I
right.
hey, I don't got
Thank you,
kids.
Timmy.
So
Not
I don't
you.
No.
I didn't make
Well,
nobody carry
no,
me,
no,
damn it.
no.
No, not
Okay.
I'm
you.
joking. I'm
Hold
joking.
on,
I'm
wait.
joking.
Right. Well,
I'm
hold on, wait.
joking. I'm joking. This is the birth
Basically,
control promo. Uh-huh.
wait. Basically,
Go ahead,
if
Kimmy
you're saying
Kelly.
if you're saying for us as women, marry before you carry, the
Yes.
same thing goes for men. Marry before you carry your butt over to her house to get some coochie.
Mhm.
And you ain't trying to marry that girl, but then oops, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant.
Because
Facts. But
then you with the man saying it, it becomes
Mhm.
the burden of the woman. Like, okay, child, like birth
The
control
woman
is
has all
supposed
the
to be the
rights.
woman's job.
No,
Um,
you're supposed to reach back and grab it from time to time and make sure there's a rubber on it. God damn it. Okay. Continue.
it
Let's be,
always
let's be, let's be. I gotta jump in on that one.
Wait, hold on,
You are
T. Hold on.
not okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold on, T. Hold on, because we gonna go in. Go ahead, Roni. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Tony. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
You
T.
Tony.
All right,
sure?
go
Are
ahead.
you sure?
I'm very sure.
You may not be too sure.
No,
No,
because I'm gonna be real. Birth
yes.
control has serious side effects against a woman.
Okay.
All the fellas need to carry condoms, plain and damn simple.
You're damn right. They fit right in the wallet.
That's number one. Number two, not every woman can deal with contraceptives. The
Okay.
pH balance and the internal anatomy gets all messed up.
Oh
That's
no,
a
he's
It's not
saying
even
situation.
everything I'm saying. So
yeah.
you're
So honestly, and this is real. I
But you shouldn't
learned
be
that
taking
in junior high.
stop
Some
fucking
women,
and use birth control.
lubricants,
Keep your
lubricated
legs away from your
condoms,
man, damn it.
latex, they can't do nothing without having a side effect. So they got to go straight natural, and you got to be a daddy.
so there you go. So it's like, okay, saying marry before you carry, which
Mhm.
I agree with Kimmy Kelly, that it puts the burden back on us to make sure we get the ring. But then if we do that, that we're gonna have another episode about how all girls want to do is just get married all the time, blah blah blah, and they don't want to
Isn't
give it
that
up
how life
until
works?
marriage, which is a fine
Yeah.
conversation in my opinion, but it's not solely a conversation just for us.
You
That's
Facts.
ladies are supposed to be wanting to get married. Anytime you sleep with a man, you're supposed to want to
Yeah,
get married. That's what we were taught. That's what we were taught.
that's how life works.
but
But let me jump in
anytime
real quick.
a
Go ahead.
man, it should be the same conversation. A man should want to, so a man
Marry a
could,
woman he can already have sex with.
Some of
right.
us used to want
Why
to.
is the burden put on us as women? Now, okay, so we have two conversations here because again, I
That's it.
understand the women thing and I want to talk directly to the women and say, yes, women, we have to do our responsible jobs.
Both
But at the
parties.
same time,
Mhm.
the, there's certain parts of the responsibility that are more sexist.
Mhm.
And we
Right.
can't define this conversation based on those.
Wait, somebody's doing terrible singing in the back. That's Jason Tony Lee. I can still hear you.
I tried to mute my mic too. I'm sorry. I'm turning my mic back down because
He's
Lu-
better off Batman.
Luther Vandross over here
Better,
is in
he's better
character on
Batman
it.
than
I'm gonna let
better
y'all
than
finish. I'm sorry. I'll turn my mic back down.
It's all good. Jason in the building. You're a better
Yeah,
superhero
Jason.
than you are a singer. Just put that out there, Dad. Go ahead,
Oh,
Rody.
God.
OG, I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute. Go ahead, Rony. You finish up. I'm
No, go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Get to OG's comment. Please do.
Okay, so OG Classic, you've been very active in the chat. Let me holler at you for a minute. Okay, OG Classic says, so here's a question that begs to be asked and answered. Some men do not want kids, but women choose to have the child anyways. Then he ends up on child support. But she said he didn't, but he said he didn't want kids. So who's really to blame? And I'm going to answer that. Well, brother, both parties are responsible
Yep.
for contraception. Okay,
Yep.
that's number one. But number two, if he says, "Well, I don't want to have the child," and if the woman says, "Well," because remember, here in America, we have reproductive rights for women. Okay, they can choose not to carry the term of pregnancy. Okay, it's their choice. Okay, so if she gets pregnant, okay, the man has no say in the matter. Okay, you can't say don't have it because she's like, no, it's my body, it's my choice. Okay, so if you choose to get pregnant by somebody that you know is irresponsible, that's walking around with a belt on, but yet his pants are still under his ass, he can't hold down a steady job, he's a
Right.
pothead sitting home playing video games all fucking day, doesn't work. Why
He's
would you
50
be
years old
sleeping
living
with
at
this?
home with his mama.
Why would you be sleeping with him to begin with?
Do
Because
not.
you know he ain't
Do
got
not
nothing for
trust
your
the
ass
guy.
after the baby,
It ain't
right?
going to
So
end
that's number
well.
one. That's number one.
Yeah.
But women have all the rights. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. That's my answer to that. OG Classic. The women have all the rights. So it's the man. Once you blast off,
Right.
once you camp indoors, the the party's over because the ball is not in your court anymore. Okay.
Yep.
Anybody want to put on to that? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I want to
Keep it
say
real.
something behind that in OG Classic and what he was saying. I get that, understand that. But
Mhm,
if we as men and women are
mhm.
not taught standards and are not taught this is what you should be doing, this is what you must do, and this is what you should not do. If we had more of the old school big mamas and all of that, then everybody would be a whole lot better. But it's just like, dude, if something happens and she messes around and get pregnant, and then you say, "Oh, I don't want to have a baby," then you should have slept with her in the first place, or you should have
And
had your
without a
protection in the first place. So go
yep,
on
you
somewhere
should.
with that.
Facts. If your pullout game is trash, don't try to run up
Yep.
in nothing wrong.
Yep.
Even I'm just saying, once you feel the tingle, pull out. Okay? And it
And
still may be too
sometimes
late.
it's too
It
late
still may be
even
too late.
then.
It still may be too late. I'm just saying,
It
if your
still may
pullout
be
game
too
is
late.
trash, don't be trying to run up in nothing raw. Number two,
Yeah.
we got a lot of STDs out there.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, since there's some hoes in the house and being a hoe is the thing now, multiple partners is the thing now. Okay. So back when we was younger, okay, in Generation X, okay, because like you said, somebody alluded to earlier, they're growing up together with Was that you, Kimmy, or Tony D? Like
Yes.
the
Yeah, that
babies
was me.
born at
Yep.
15. Next thing you know, y'all both in the club together. you
Yep.
30, you 30 whatever, and she's 20 whatever. And y'all in the club together, trying to compete
Yep.
for the same men. And
Yep.
but it's madness. Okay, you're trying to compete with the same men. Okay, so I'm just saying it's usually a bad look. But like I say for the brothers, let's use a little protection. Let's keep let's keep it real, man. If you don't want if you know you do not want to be long term dealing with this woman, if you know this is a quote unquote one night stand or just a quote unquote fling, keep the protection on.
Yeah.
Ladies, okay, oh, birth control, it don't work for me. It make me fat, this, that, and the other.
Or have
If
a box
the
of
women you're
condoms in
dating,
your side drawer.
Hello.
if you I'm just saying, well, big up to the sisters that are responsible. That's why you're not in the position as most of these women that we previewed in the video are.
I know,
Because
but
that
we're
Right.
trying to educate as women. We're trying to educate the women. This
that's
is
what we need.
this is our show, so let us
Go
educate the
for it.
women by telling them what they
That's what I
need to
want.
do,
Tell
right,
them.
in order to avoid these
Don't blame
things.
the man.
And
Tell
part
them.
of it is you could have a box of condoms just to say where the guy can buy condoms. You don't have to take birth control. Have a box of condoms in the side drawer or under your
Keep losing it.
pillow for emergencies. Like
Under you.
Blazing said, don't keep it in your wallet because it's gonna burn out. Okay,
Go ahead.
so
Keep going. Keep going. I did see that,
keep
Blaze. I'm
it,
sorry.
right? Like keep it in a drawer, right? Do that kind of thing. And grandmothers and moms, it is okay to discipline your child. It's not okay that you and your child are friends. Y'all could be friends, but at the end of the day, you still that child's mother. You can discipline your child. You don't have to be like your kid. You need to once you had that child,
Mhm.
all that goes out the window. You are a representative of what you want that kid to be. So no, you can't go around looking like with tight jeans and tight pants, well, whatever she had on. I don't know what she had on. The onesies. You can't go in with the unitards with your daughter. The painted on unitards with your daughter trying to look cute. I'm sorry.
Matching. At least they were
You
matching.
it passed. That time passed. I mean, even if you want to do it for yourself, to do it with your child.
She quote unquote Bernice Burgos was teaching her daughter the game. So Bernice Burgos Juniorette. What do you call a
I've
baby
never
on
heard of a unitard. I've never heard that before. That is hilarious.
It looks like a unitard.
unitard?
A
Yeah,
unitard.
yeah, a retarded unicorn.
Yeah.
That's what she looked like. She looked like a fucking retarded unicorn.
Oh,
But
oh
mind
no, she didn't.
they both look nice together, actually. I mean, I'm not gonna say they didn't look bad. The mother and daughter thoughtin', they both look kind of nice in the mirror, showing her daughter the
That's
booty shake and all that. So we listen. I would not
that's
marry
the
that, of
point.
course. Why would I marry a woman that's practicing thoughtism? Because these women are not being raised to be wives; they're raised to be thoughts. Like OG said earlier, women want a marriage, but don't want to be your wife. Because if you're out there like that, it's not a good idea. And I use the Gabrielle Union example.
Mm.
Married, but yet she's flashing her breastises out of hotel windows, like as a married woman, 50 plus years old. The foddery must end at a certain age. If you're going to go through a quote unquote 304 phase in your life, because that's the thing. Like young women are being taught by their younger mothers. It's too young to get in a serious relationship. Don't. You're too young for that. Really? So what do you want your daughter to do? Run around town, sleeping with dozens and dozens of different men? And
It's
then when
dangerous.
you're 30 and you have children from these random men, then you're
Forget
looking
about the
for a nice
children. You could
man.
get
Okay,
kidnapped.
forget about the children. Forget about the
You could
children.
get
Let's just talk
kidnapped.
about
You can get killed. Right?
well,
They
yeah.
don't. We don't. You don't see a lot of documentaries about missing black women, but there
No.
are so many missing black women on milk cartons, like
Yes.
literally in the DC area,
Especially
especially.
where you're at. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Especially where you at. Yeah, I'm hearing about
and
a
they're
lot.
the ages of
Don't
between
drink
14 and 25. Every almost at least once a week, missing black women.
Some of them are running away to become professional thoughts. and some of them are being kidnapped. I don't know what the numbers are because I couldn't put that out there because there are a lot of women that are quote unquote missing that came from a bad family structure, possibly
Yep.
an abusive household, XYZ, and they just said, fuck this. I'm running away. I don't need this anymore. I can go
Yep.
out, earn my own money on the street, however, whatever. And I'm not doing this no more. So let's not pretend 100%. I'm not saying you're pretending, but let's not say 100% of the women were kidnapped because they were dressed like cops and someone kidnapped them and
No.
put them into sex trafficking.
No,
No, half of them
No.
no.
ran the fuck away and decided to be, I'm gonna be a stripper because I know that being a hoe
Yep.
is in style and I can make this money swinging on this pole. This was maybe pre-COVID, or depending on what state you are, you can still make some money swinging pole. But I'm just saying, half of these women ran away. Let's not get it twisted. Half of them
Right.
ran away from a bad home. So let's not pretend everybody is living in a beautiful, peaceful Cosby home type of environment. Okay. So we got to keep that in perspective. I'm sorry, Roni. But I
No,
just want to keep that.
I agree with you. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, part of it is not just having kids, but not to not be a thought. These are the reasons why you shouldn't do the thought culture, because one, you could end up with a single child. You could be a single parent and struggle, or you can be a single parent with many kids, and again, like, you could go missing, or you could perish,
Yep.
right?
fact.
Because it's not about, okay, making money. Like, the whole thing about the thought culture, and they make it look glamorous. They make it look like you're getting
But they want the
cars, you're
money.
getting cash, and you're getting plane rides.
But they want that though, obviously.
They can also get trafficked. That's the big one too.
That
Yeah.
was my point.
50%
That
of
was
them
my
are
point.
trafficked, and 50, I would guess, half of them are trafficked, and half of them ran away from a bad situation and didn't mind sitting in
Even
traffic.
in that bad situation, you're still putting yourself in a dangerous situation because you're chasing the culture, the thought culture. So this is these are they're like different reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's it's like you
Does
women,
mix.
your life is not in control when you follow the thought culture. You don't have control of your life. Try not to do it because it runs you. You don't run it.
Isn't it? Isn't that called in today's society called quote unquote women's empowerment? Like for example, Cardi B or
Thought
a Meg Thee
culture?
Stallion. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. It may sound
Yeah.
retarded to you because I see
No,
the
no,
look
no.
on your
I
face.
was asking
But
you.
let's
I
talk
didn't
about
understand the question.
yes. So thought culture, right? Quote
Mhm.
unquote. This is women, or should we go with the feminist movement? This is women empowerment. I'm empowering myself sexually, right? That's the quote. What are you empowering yourself sexually to do? Get your mileage ran up crazy,
Right. I was about to say
like
just get
100.
No, I
You slept with 400 men, right. How powerful do you really feel, or do you feel
wait.
like a worn out carpet? Let's be honest.
Just because they're now, hold on.
Is that empowering? Is the question? Is empowering? I mean, this is
I
not an
will
argument.
say, if
No,
it's
please
you
no.
and if you feel like it's empowering, I will say that yes, it can be empowering.
Well, I got the power.
I will say that.
I love
What is it?
empowered. Listen, I mean, unfortunately, I love the empowered women's movement. It provides plenty of eye candy for me. Okay, and if you're coming out the house dressed in the unitard like Miss Burgos and her daughter, you're doing it because you want to be looked at and sexually craved by the opposite sex. Let's not pretend you're going to put the unitard out. I mean, on, go out, and then be like, oh my God, he's harassing me. Why are they looking at me like
Right.
this? Because you know what? When a woman dresses like that to go outside, and I'm gonna keep this a ban, and this is not a woman bashing thing because I love women, obviously. Okay. And I love the Bernice Burgos look. Like, I love to see you on the street. But don't ask me what I'm looking at if I'm looking at you, because you put that on to be looked at. Okay. So, for example, I'm gonna give you a quick story. I was in a store a couple of days ago. Okay.
Uh-huh.
A Bernice Burgos looking unitard was in the building with a little jacket on. I'm like, damn, it's a little chilly up here for you to have the unitard on, right? So uh there are a few people online. Okay. Me myself being a attractive gentleman, she looked at me, saw me looking, didn't say anything. But yet when the unattractive man behind me that got online was looking, she rolled her eyes at him. Okay. So This is where it comes down to. Okay, it's harassment if the unattractive guy is looking at you. Okay, but it's okay when the attractive guy is looking. We got to realize if you come outside dressed like this, everyone is looking. Okay, so we can't let's not say like, wow, what you looking at? Shoot, like you looking at
Right.
me like that because that's how you came outside looking. So when women get dressed up to go outside, you're usually looking good because a lot of women like to just look good and present themselves every day. Okay.
Right.
But if you're coming outside on the street, okay, and you have on something provocative, like you shouldn't be in the supermarket with that. Like if you're gonna put the unitard on, you should just possibly go to the let's should I say go to the club like that. But you don't want to be in Pathmark. You don't want to be in Whole Foods in the produce. You don't want to be in the produce aisle dressed like
I'm
that.
glad
That's
you
all
used
I'm saying.
Pathmark. You said
Like I'm
Pathmark.
saying, just for example, say let's switch it to the male side, okay? Because we don't want
Okay.
this to be like, oh, you're always bashing the women. Because men cannot say anything about women. That's why I like the women to critique the women. Okay, that's why I appreciate you sisters for giving your input on this. Tony D, you've been quiet for quite some time. I see you holding it in. It's time for some breath control, Styly. Can we all agree on that? It's time for some breath control, Styly. So, ladies and gentlemen,
No,
without further ado,
let me help you. Let me help you. I don't have a whole lot because y'all are covering it, but there is a
go for
lot
it.
of controversial aspects of what's going on. If you dress like that, you're going to be gawked at. Somebody's going to say something stupid. You're promoting a lot of your, let me say, fertility. That was the first thing I thought about when you were bringing it up. No, seriously, because you got the body that's going to make a man want you, and when a man wants you, he's going to want to reproduce with you, and that's real. But you're going to have more men wanting you than you want to want you. And that's the caution
Exactly.
of all of this right now. There's nothing wrong
Exactly.
with you got it, nothing wrong with you looking good, and nothing wrong with you feeling good. And I'll be the first one to say it, not even trying to be harassing or stereotypical or chauvinistic.
Yeah.
If you
No one said
feel
anything
good with
about her.
what you got, yeah, I mean, if you feel good with what you got, and you feel good with how you carry yourself, we're going to respect it. And guess we're going to want you. You're going to want that positive attention. It's the negative attention we got to watch it. They had a story about that mess in Italy. If a woman dresses too provocative and she gets raped, they're not going to charge the rapist, which I think is BS personally.
That's insane. That's
Yeah,
totally
that
crazy
was
because
about a decade ago. I remember that story came out.
that's
No
insane because at
stealing in the
nighttime is
house.
usually party time and hangout time, right? So
Yeah,
usually at nighttime, women will get dressed up, go party. Fellas will
yeah,
get dressed up to go. Everybody wants to look their best when it's
yes,
Right.
party time and it's time to go out and mingle. But you may
yes,
not want to put that on to go to the supermarket, okay?
right.
And so yeah, nobody mentioned anything about harassment. I just said looking. So let's not
It
confuse.
happens. Yeah, it happens. And that's just
Looking
being
is not
real. If a
saying
woman, let me find two women walking in the street like that, we all looking. Let's be clear. Nowadays, men and
exactly.
women are looking at women just like that.
But you know what? A lot of women
Seriously.
don't have that look, so they just jealous and they just like, well, I can't even look like that when I want to.
I've
So,
seen a lot of
yeah,
that too.
well,
I've seen a
step your
lot of that
game up
too.
and you can get looked at like that too.
You
If
know, we
that's
had
what
that
you
conversation about a month or two ago. We was talking about that. I know y'all remember that too. But the ladies, I mean, as far as it passing down the generations, some of it is there. Ladies got to control their daughters on how they carry themselves, the same way men got to control their sons on how they carry themselves.
facts.
Seriously,
Feed the
all you got to
children.
do is teach these kids the right way. You're going to be provocative. You're going to get gawked at, but you got to carry
Yep.
yourself properly. And if somebody steps to you too hard or too close, you go in and get the relatives and let them go handle. Plain and
You
simple.
carry the pepper spray. If you're gonna be
Yeah,
dressed how you get on the street, carry the pepper spray.
right, right, right.
Because you may run
Seriously,
into a crazed lunatic. But
seriously, yes.
I mean, back in our days, right? For example, Generation X. I don't mean to do too much because I'm talking a little too much today, but I'm in a good zone right now. I'm in a good space, right? Check it out. Back when we were kids, right?
Mhm.
Clothes were not tight. Women were not wearing the ass was not all out like that.
No, it wasn't. No.
Like
Well,
the
that's why I
clothes
use the
were a little
example of when I
baggier.
went to the clubs, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yes, clothes were baggier. Yeah, yeah, Rona, you're absolutely right. Give me 1 second, and it's yours. Clothes were
no
baggier
problem.
for
Take your
number
time.
one. Number two, when it comes to the thotting, okay, there were a lot of thots in high school, right? But
Mhm.
when you were a thought in high school and you got pregnant and you got caught out there, you would be sent, quote unquote, down south. because it's a shame and an embarrassment to the family for a teenage kid in school to be pregnant because it's a shame on the family.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
2021, we are now hosting baby showers in high school because it's normal to have a baby at 16 now in this wild, deranged world we live in. I
No,
remember
pause
the
on that.
girl, what happened to so and so? She down south. Oh, she pregnant.
Oh, wait,
Yep.
pause. Now,
That's
pause
the
on.
case if you go for it.
Hold on. Can I interject something medical on
Go
this?
for it.
What
Go
you
ahead.
just said. Okay. Now, again, women, because this is a women's conversation, really. Um, Women are getting pregnant at a younger age. The reason why is because Generation X was taught not to get pregnant in high school. So, not to say
Yeah.
women didn't get pregnant in high school, but we were taught, like it was drilled in our brains, right? Because our parents got pregnant at a young age.
Yes.
So, a lot of us, Generation Xers, were trying to get pregnant at 30 and could not get pregnant at 30. And now, so when they do get pregnant or when they do have kids, they're like, just have kids because don't follow the plan. Because the plan, if you wait too late to have a kid, if you
Mhm.
wait until you're 30, you may not even have kids.
Got you.
So there's a lot of this conversation is very deep, right?
Sure. And this is opinion radio because we're only giving our opinions.
Yeah.
For those that came into the chat room and were offended, take your bowl and go home. You don't have to watch this channel. Okay. Unsubscribe, unlike, unshare, and get lost.
Yep.
Okay. And that
Exactly.
goes for Mr. Mayonnaise and the other individual. I'm not gonna go there. Okay, continue, Ronnie. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to put that in there about the baby showers, but I was agreeing with what you were saying. Otherwise,
All good.
you
All
were
good.
making a statement about
Man, okay, so I need to say something here, so
Go
excuse me,
in. Go
y'all.
in. We need some heat. We need some
Okay,
smoke.
so no, so I actually have a niece,
Okay.
and she's like in her 30s.
Okay.
Um, she had a baby, I think it was like a year before she got out of high school.
it. Mhm.
Now, she's 30, and I think he's like 16, maybe.
Okay.
She is so irresponsible, it's not even funny
Nice.
because she don't want to take care of him
Mhm.
because he getting in her way
Somebody
of her
background is
going out
crazy. Hmm.
Might be mine. Sorry. Let me
clubbing,
turn my down. Sorry.
Hmm.
clubbing and partying and whatnot. And
Mm,
she was not raised like that. She was
mm,
raised by her
Mm.
grandmother,
Hmm.
but the grandmother didn't have like, and I think this was a detriment to her, the fact that she didn't have any good examples of what a man should and should not do. She
mhm,
didn't have any good examples. However, it's like, girlfriend, you need to be taking care of your kid. But that's where that whole thing comes in, is that they all growing up together. Her and her son grew up together.
right.
They're
Wow.
growing together. And that to me is like one of the craziest doggone things. And I used to pray and I used to say all the time, please don't let me be a teenage mom. Please don't let me be a teenage mom. Please, I don't want to be a teenage mom. You do not know how happy I was that I was not a teenage mom. I was so proud, so
Well, you know what?
happy.
But it was like back in Generation X, it was frowned upon. Let's be
Mhm.
honest. I don't know where
Yeah.
we're at right now in society, but that was frowned upon. When, well, I'm going to speak for myself because this is Joy in the house. Hey, what's up, Joy? How you doing? She had a cousin who was pregnant at the age of 14, and this happens. Okay, this happens because remember, these are children. These are babies having babies sometimes. Okay, babies having babies. So these things happen. It's no doubt about it. But if that happens at the age of 14, okay, that should be your wake up call at the age of 14. Okay. So you shouldn't be 25, right? You shouldn't be 25 7 years later with four more children on top of that, still single. You understand what I'm saying? So if that one happens, just like I say, one is like like one is like things happen. But when you have one child in this we won't say accidental, but in a things happen situation where you're not planning to marry this individual or you're not in a relationship or anything of that nature, things happen. you can get over with one, maybe two, maybe, but after that, like it's getting a little
You're doing
dicey.
too much.
You may be doing a little too much. That's all I'm saying. Like things happen.
Jump in
Like
on that. I got to jump
on
in on that because some of these
no,
women are being
no,
assaulted and being pregnant at their age.
well,
Some of them
that's
are being assaulted. That's a whole separate issue, but I
if I
can't
had
put
a
that on a
daughter,
lot of them.
if I had a
Okay.
daughter that was raped or sexually assaulted, I would recommend that she would not carry the term for that child. And it's and that may be a strong statement, but if
It
it's
is a
my
strong statement. I understand that,
daughter
but
was
yes,
raped, I'm not gonna tell her that it's probably in her best interest to have a child from somebody that that raped her. Excuse the language. I don't even like to use that word because that's a very powerful word. But sexually assaulted. Okay, let's
Right.
use that word instead. I wouldn't recommend that she carry a sexually assaulter's child to full term, even though it's half hers and half the assaulter. It's just not a good look because it's just not a good look. That's how I feel. And we do opinion radio. Damn it. Okay. So yes, Joy, you're right. Yes. So I just wanted to put that out there
It's
also. You know what
it's
I'm saying?
not a good look, but also that cannot be a good feeling and that cannot be healthy
right.
No. A lot of
in
mental
any way,
and
shape, or form.
of course. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Facts, facts. So damn, we kind of covered a nice amount of ground right here.
Damn, that's
Um
a good ass conversation.
it's well to us it is. To some of them that had to take their ball and go home, it wasn't. So you shouldn't be here. If you don't like what we're talking about, go home. Okay. And we're
I'm
gonna leave
so
it at that.
glad.
I'm
I'm
tired
so
of these
glad I
people
click
coming
away
in
so
here.
I don't have to see the comments. Cause whatever.
Well, it was just two of my biggest fans, but sometimes my fans get disgruntled, and we don't give refunds at the gate. Okay, we don't give refunds at the gate. So if you come in, you just if you don't like it, you just quietly take your stuff and proceed to the exit before we call
Yep.
security.
Yep.
um,
You
yeah,
see what Joy said, and that's an aspect that I gotta like acknowledge.
done
Some of
is
these
a
women
deed,
get
right?
assaulted and do keep the kids and raise them. That's a big
True.
topic to a lot of people that folks don't talk about. I
Ooh,
try not to judge single mothers off of that alone. They choose to keep the child. It's not the child's fault. I
not at
understand
all.
that. And Smoke, I know what you were saying about advising her not to carry it full term. You
If
can't
I had
tell
a
a
daughter,
woman
that's
what to
how
do
I'm
with,
personally.
yeah, yeah. And if you can't tell a woman what to do with her body, she's a minor, she's going to be confused. And honestly, if she does get rid of that baby, she'll never forgive herself and maybe not you, even though you may have been right as far as her future.
Exactly.
And I will
Exactly.
say that because I've known women who have been through that. I actually had a friend, I took her. She had nobody else to turn to, and I took her. She cried the
Mhm.
whole way back, and it messed my mind up for a week. We are still friends to this day. I never told anybody. But I always told her, I said, I'll never forget what you went through. I never forgot how you felt. That was a lot of the change that I made within myself to never put a woman through that
I
Mhm.
mean,
just because of what I saw.
having an abortion
Yeah.
is traumatic.
I can imagine.
Miscarrying is like mentally traumatic.
Is what's okay? 'Cause so you don't want to compound. See, all right. So since we were just briefly talking about like sexual assault victims getting pregnant, okay? I'm sure like that's very traumatizing, right? And hey, like I say, this is opinion radio. If I had a daughter that was a minor and was sexually assaulted and became pregnant as a result of that, that's what I would recommend to be done. But that's me, myself being the father of my daughter who is a minor. And for those out there listening, if you were in that hypothetical situation, you as a parent have to make your own decision, okay? Because you're not me. Don't study me because you'll fail, okay? But that's just how I feel, okay? And we do opinion radio over here. We do opinion radio over here, right?
Right.
Everybody's
Okay.
opinion matters, right?
Right.
So that's what
Okay.
we do here.
Well,
Go for it.
smoke.
Talk to me. Mhm.
I got an issue and a problem with all this sidebar shit. I don't understand how we got from talking about women raising their kids as raising their daughters as basically thoughts and holes.
Uh-huh.
We're just having a conversation.
Yep.
Okay.
There it is.
Hmm.
Mhm.
why do we have to go all off into these different conversations? Well, if it's a sexual assault victim, then this, or if it's a so and so, then this. That ain't what we talking
Because,
about.
but you're missing the point. There's
Ain't nothing.
aspects that
No,
we
no,
covered.
Wait a minute, Tony. Wait a
Go
minute,
for it. Go
Tony.
for it.
It's
Go for it.
not the thing about missing the point.
It's not
It's
the
just
topic.
there's so many different avenues that
Mhm.
you can go down in regards to the men, the women, and all that. All we talking about is just the thoughts.
Let's bring
We
it
also
back
got
to
to talk about. We got to talk back to the consequences of being that. We also speak on the aspects of all sides within the time frame. So to me, the sidebars don't really bother me because as much as we got to focus, we also got to bring other people's focus into our area. Sometimes the sidebars bring them to our direction, if you will. If you're going to do it like this is going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. How do we get this way? How do you stop it? How did it begin? How do you like prevent it? You got to cover all of it. And that's just me, seriously. I don't mind a lot of sidebars, a lot of conversations because we cover so much in the time frames of what we cover. We always hit the exact point in the beginning and then we elaborate on it. I kind of look at it like a research paper. You got to bring in as many examples and references as possible. That's just me, though. So I can apologize myself. I ain't going to lie to you. I love doing this mess. I have a ball up here. I know we try to keep it at an hour, but why not going to an hour and a half? It's been happening a lot going through the season, but I'll be having fun. I'll be having fun because we always hit the immediate point in the beginning, and then we
Yep.
kind of expound afterwards. That's what I've noticed, and I had fun with it. So y'all let me know.
Facts. That's where I'm at too. I'm sorry, Kimmy. I
Don't be
got
questioning
you.
me and you ain't on camera.
Yeah, we kind of
Oh,
got
wait,
him.
excuse me. Back up. I can
Go for it.
question anybody I want to as long as I got a mouthpiece, okay?
Your mouthpiece is working harder than your face piece. So where you at?
She was on camera last week, man.
I mess with her all the time.
It don't matter if I don't ever come up on camera. Trust me. Yeah, exactly.
But
So
yeah,
first, can't eat what we eat without the sugar.
so, yeah, the conversation went kind of a little finger, because so let's circle it back to the thoughts. We kind of covered all that already. So that's why we kind of, things kind of got expanded a little bit and as far as thing because we do interact with the chat room. So I think that may have been something that came up possibly in the chat room as well. So we do address some things for the people that we're not there. OG Classic says so. We straying from the subject again. Well, the subject is completed. We covered the topic earlier. This was just bonus points. This is what we call overtime. This was just bonus points, but we're at about 1:30. Okay?
I'm actually curious as to what we might have missed if we
Can-
really
can-
drifted off topic.
I
don't
do
know.
understand where Kimmy Kali's coming from because
Go for it.
again, there's always a blurred line when it comes to women. When
Mhm.
we get this lump in this. I think for this conversation again, it should have been like I should have led it. Maybe I should have led the conversation because this is a
Well, lead the
conversation
conversation now, damn it, because we're still
for
here.
the
Lead
ladies
it.
about the thoughtism and not so much
We
everything else
tried to
surrounding it.
y'all passed the fucking ball to us. We said go for it, and no, you and Tony first. So you want to goddamn it.
Well,
You
Well,
tried to
we
get the
gonna
deep
finish it
statement.
off then, Smoke.
Go for it. It's all yours. Get up. I'm using my mic. God
And
damn it.
see,
Go for it.
Hold
Go
on, wait
for it.
though. Hold on, wait.
go ahead.
And T.
No,
Roney,
go
if
ahead.
you got something else to say, you can say it after I say what I need to say. This
better-
is
you
one
better
of
cover
the
it.
issues, and this is one of the things that nobody is even looking at. I understand all the other aspects, but look at the
Mhm.
aspect of how men view, look at the thoughts, holes, whatever that's out there with all their ass out.
Mhm.
But then you have regular, normal people that wear clothes like maybe me and T. Roney,
Yep.
and they
Love
looking
y'all.
like, oh, she ain't got her ass out, so let's keep it moving. Huh?
So that's their loss. That's their loss. Because remember, you don't want that kind of man. Why would you want that kind of man?
Exactly.
So feel good in your lane, baby.
Can I
Feel
add
good
to
in your
that?
lane. Leave your ass
It is
in.
their
Please
loss.
do.
It is their loss. However,
Mhm.
these girls are covered. They got a
Yeah.
man. They got bank because the men is
Who are
giving them
covered?
money.
Who-
The
who-
girls,
who-
the
Who
thoughts.
these girls? Oh, are they? You don't know a lot of thoughts, obviously.
Thank you. Yes, Tony.
Go for it.
Yes, thoughts are covered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You think they're covered, Kimmy? I
I
mean, you
don't
know,
think they're
it's a made
covered
TV show.
because I think it's strictly temporary money. It's
For
not
one
going
night.
to it's not going to last, and it's
Nope.
not going to hold up substantially if she was taking care of her own business and kept, you know what I'm saying, and either had a
Yes,
business or a
agreed.
job. You cannot sit there and expect a man just to give you money hand over fist, hand over fist, hand over fist. Fat or not.
Hmm.
Come on, you have to be able to bring something to the table. And I'm sorry, I was raised to be a wife, a mother, and whatever the hell else it is that I need to be. And I was not raised to be no doggone thot or no hoe. And I
And
can cook. And
and
I
Go
if
can
ahead,
we're gonna
hold
Billy.
down
talk
a
about
job too.
that, yes, and I feel like that's the conversation we need to have. Why it's not good to be a thought? Why the long
Why
term,
is
Thank
it
you.
not good?
from females to females,
Thank you.
from good females talking to the grandmothers and the mothers who teaching their kids how to be thoughts, or even the girls who are out there thinking the thought life is the life. It's just like Kimmy Kali said, it's temporary.
It's very
Yep.
temporary.
Yep.
Now, a lot of these stocks, the reason why we think they got bank because they're stacking the money. They just don't show you how much they got. I know plenty.
A lot of them.
They getting money all over the place, and they'll never walk around looking like they got money. It's like the homeless game. There's some homeless people out there. They really ain't homeless.
I've seen that on the news.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
But they're
it's
not
serious business out here.
not
And I
drunk,
only
but
say
they
that because I'm around a lot, and I know women. You'll be broke as all get out. You'll need something. She'll pull $100 out of her sock. I don't know where it came from. I'm dead serious. They out here
And you
hard.
damn right.
Yeah, they out here hard in the paint. So we can say what we want about how they look and how they dress. We out here working for the money. They get handed to them every day.
good for
I.e.,
them.
I'll use strippers as an example. They can't guarantee their money. They can't file all that money on their taxes, but check under
It's
that
not
mattress one damn
guaranteed.
day.
It ain't
Check under that
guaranteed.
mattress. Now that money, it may not last as long as ours, and we'll be able
And
to
it's
make more money
dangerous.
than them over time. But they banking right now. Like you
Well,
said, it's temporary, but I'll be damned if that temporary don't look good for some of them.
that's just like the drug dealer. They're
Yes,
banking
exactly.
Yep.
now.
Exactly.
Okay. But what's your end game? And do you believe in
Thank you
longevity?
for using Blog
Because a
Talk
lot of people
Radio.
that
Goodbye.
are not
Huh?
what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was my I'm sorry. That was my that was the phone line.
That was the
Don't worry,
phone.
we
That was the
rocking,
phone.
we connected, we
So
all over.
who?
We broadcasting all over the
Look, we
world.
can't see you on camera. I thought it was your roommate.
Who? My
I'm picking woman. Stop it. Go ahead.
Come on, stop it, y'all. Y'all crazy. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Y'all were taking it over. Oh yeah, go ahead, ladies.
What?
You back up.
You got to remember how your grandmothers used to pull money out
Nah.
of their purse. You got to remember how your grandmothers used to pull money out of their bras. One
Well, it
thing
was
that they
different.
are passing on is keep your money. Don't let nobody know how much you got. We have not said that at all.
Yep.
You know your
Yes.
grandmothers taught y'all that.
Yep.
You're not supposed to put yes, that's true. You're not supposed to flash
They
your money.
will look. These women will look this good and take everybody's dollar and never spend a dollar on anybody else, much less themselves, and stack up everything they got. They're killing
Yep.
it. We haven't talked about that yet. These grandmothers are passing that on to their daughters. We missed that part.
Yep.
That's what Kimmy Kelly may be correct because we didn't fully focus. And I'll admit it my damn self, but it just hit me the minute I was sitting there thinking about it, looking at her like, why would a woman teach her daughter to do this and to get over? Click, get over. Keep the money. Don't spend it. Make sure somebody else spends your bills. So you got the money in the bank and it keeps building interest while somebody else taking care of everything that you need. You never go broke.
Well,
Think about it because it's happening.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
sometimes when you out there doing too much empowerment with your empowerment coochie, then it does run out after a while.
Not just the
yeah,
coochie, they empowering. Lord have mercy. I'm
like
done.
Yeah.
Stop.
it's called in certain communities it's called the wall. At a certain
Wow.
point, you hit the wall.
Did you say
and
the wall?
is undefeated. Yes. The wall ties into now. Now, Kimmy. Now, if we're going to continue this conversation, you can't be like, "We too far off topic."
There's no refunds.
No. See,
Ask me a
okay,
question. This is going to roll into some next shit.
okay, that's fine. But I just
What
was
is the
like,
cutoff point? It's a cutoff point for thottery. That's what we
okay,
call the
all
wall.
right,
Just real
that's
quick.
fine. But I just was like, okay, everybody's going through all these different scenarios, and there's a million and one different scenarios about everything that we were talking about. I'm just like, can we
Yep.
just reel it back to the thought process? I'm like,
thought process,
That's
not
all I
thought
was saying.
process.
That's
Process.
all I was
Thought
saying. So
process.
if
That
we
was a
done
good
with the
one.
thoughtism, we done with the thoughtism. It's
We
okay.
done
And
with the
Tony D,
thought.
you better watch yourself, cause just cause I ain't on camera don't mean a doggone thing.
Self.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like Motel 6. I'll leave the light on for you. Come on.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there.
They're gonna know where you live.
Right there. You sound like you from St. Louis. I'll be right there.
I'll be right there.
No, honestly though, we gotta look at all that, and we do need to understand what's really going on. A lot of times we only speaking on what we've researched. We don't even think about what we remembered and what we may have already known. Because one thing we can remember is what's supposed to be right. We can't remember a lot of what's wrong. We can't remember a lot of the secrets that were also told to us. Women these days have found ways to stack money and not spend their own. I meet a lot of women out here when they get with somebody, the husband's going to work and pay the bills. If I go to work, the money's mine. We got to stop that too. I don't remember the grandmothers teaching the kids that. And I got a bunch of female cousins.
What was that again?
When women marry men and both of them got jobs, the man takes care of the bills, but her money is her to spend how she wants to.
Yeah.
Hell no.
He saves her money and she spends his.
No. No.
My money is mine and your money is ours. You mean like that in most marriages?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marriages like that too. And even vice versa. Even vice versa. There are some women that spend all the bills.
Now,
and some of the
in
men
talking about that, can I just say, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not
No,
saying
you're fine. You're fine. I'm just telling you what I've witnessed as well.
Now, in that scenario, sorry, go ahead. Oh, so is that relationship the typical relationship? Did he come in saying, okay, well, I want a girl from like the 50s, or 70s. I want a wife who's going to be like a wife. Because if that's the case, if that's their relationship, if he came in saying, I want a wife who's going to be like a wife, we all know that when like the typical wife is the Stepford wife. So she keeps her money. That's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what their relationship, I don't know. Like,
we do not, and you are 100% correct in thinking that way. Here's my thing. Most people nowadays, when you get married, both of y'all get careers. You're trying to expand what you have together.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's going to take the both of y'all splitting the bills, both of y'all splitting time with the kids, or both of y'all splitting responsibilities around the house, because both of y'all are working at the same time. So the both of y'all are doing the same thing. You can compound on what you have. A lot of people have a problem with that. Traditionally, the man took care of the home because the woman wasn't necessarily supposed to be working at all. She's supposed to take care of the home. He goes out and makes the bills, just bring the money back. She takes care of everything in the house. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that.
That's old school.
I really don't. Yeah, that's old school. Nowadays, nowadays, everybody can work. Everybody can bring home the money. I'll be clear with anybody out there. When I married my wife, she had the career before I did. But one thing I told her was, I'm not going to get a job that's going to make less than you because I don't want to hear your mouth down the line. I saw soul food. I'm not falling for that game. I'm going to make as much money as you, even at the same place. Yeah, I said that. I'm going to say that quick because all black ones like, ain't no way. Now, all y'all like that. And I'm going to go ahead and say, get mad at me, quote me. I'll go live after this and I'll let y'all come at me all damn day. But my whole thing is this. No man was taught to let a woman take care of him economically.
No.
So ladies out here getting the money, that's fine. The fellas out here, y'all out here getting your money. Now I'm going to go off on a sidebar that Kimmy Keller was talking about, and she's going to be correct. She was 10 minutes ahead of me. I'm going to give her a little bit of credit, but I'm still leaving the light on for her little. Anyway, I'm going to start later. When you make money together, spend it together. Neither side needs to be selfish with any dollar.
Yep.
Neither side. That's the only way the relationship is going to grow. The two of you have to not only trust each other in the house and in the bed, but in the pockets.
Right.
Yep.
That's where some of this is coming from in the first place.
Yep.
Y'all can't trust each other's pockets. Y'all can't trust each other's bank statements. Y'all can't trust each other's cell phones. There's no trust. That's why we got this. Get what you can and get on out of there. Men and women are teaching each other this. You got a very huge problem with that. There's a lot of selfishness. There's a lot of self-preservation. You cannot have you cannot have unity with all of the self-preservation that's going on against each and everybody. You almost got to do it against your own families these days.
Yeah,
that's what's really going on.
Yeah.
Well, the marriage rates are down, very
Severely.
down right now.
It's not about marriage,
No
though.
weddings happening.
It is a culture of selfishness.
The gambling market will gamble against your marriage, and they will make money off of it, no matter how hard you try, because of society. Yes.
risk versus reward.
Ugly
You did
out there. Now
pretty
you were
much.
right, Kimmy Callie. Now I'm in the wrong. Now I came all the way off topic. You're
I
100%
No,
know.
no, no,
correct.
no.
That
That's
woman
totally
predicted the
fine
future
because
on me.
You're not
Yeah, I
gonna
got
hear
beef
that.
with
you
you.
know what? Hush,
You're not gonna hear that.
because no, that was fine, Tony, because I actually wanted to say something about that
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
in. Say it now.
because of the fact that men and women
Mhm.
don't know how to talk to each other. They don't
Facts.
know how to communicate. And
Facts.
when you go into a marriage, because I went into a marriage and we didn't know which way was up, down, left, or right. And it was my first marriage, his second. So if it was your second marriage, then you know the do's and the don'ts of whatever. That
Mhm.
financial part was a
Mhm.
big part of a big fat zero. It's all wrong. It all went to the left. We
I
didn't
give
talk
you that. Yes.
finances. And people
We need
need
to
to
have those
communicate and
conversations.
talk finances and lay some stuff down
You know
before you
what?
even say I do.
Yep.
I think that should be an excellent
Yeah.
broadcast.
You're damn right. I think so too. We stumbled on another one.
Yes. I think that would be, and I want to be honest in saying that because
We could do that.
I don't
Mhm.
think people understand how the finances should be in a marriage. I'm all about splitting finances 50-50
Yep.
based on your income.
Yep.
I put myself in a position to where I was going to make the same money as my wife was because she had a job and I was just starting and had to get to her level. It's going to take some years. But one thing I promised her was I'm not going to cost you and I'm not going to take advantage of you. If all of you out there could walk into your marriage with that mentality, I think they will start lasting around here because society is going to get you broke. Trying to keep up with the
Yep.
Joneses is going to get you broke. Brand
Yeah.
new cars damn near cost more than your marriage between the car note and the insurance. Stop playing. The mortgage doesn't equal a lot of things that's going on out there. I'm not mad at nobody getting their money. I'm not mad at nobody taking care of themselves. But this mentality right here comes from pain. It comes from heartbreak. It comes from
Yes.
desolation. It comes from
Yes.
desperation.
That's
All of
good.
those aspects and covered are what they got right there. That mother ain't doing nothing but teaching that woman how to take care of herself and not be taken advantage of. I understand that. I fully understand that. But when
Copy.
you find somebody to be with, can you change your mentality from that?
Bear hug from Batman.
Yeah. Sidekick kicking in. Thank you. Right back. Go over there. You gotta go there. Stop. I'm on broadcast.
Facts. Those are conversations that need to be had
They need to be
before
had,
the marriage.
honestly.
You can say I do first, but before you actually have the ceremony or go to what do you call it, town hall or city hall or go to Vegas or whatever you do,
The chapel pray.
you need
Yep.
to have these are important conversations, and we're on sidebars now. So for those tuning
Can
in
I
late, we'll just
Yeah,
erase
we are
the fact.
sidebar.
can
I'm
I add
very
to
guilty of it right
can
now. I'm
I
very
add
guilty.
See,
to
Ronnie
what
wants to
you
say
was
something.
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
add
Go
to what you were saying, Ace? Not
Come on.
only should it be a conversation that you have, it should be an honest conversation. Don't just
I like
have the conversation for the sake of having a conversation and just be like, okay, well, because you don't want to tread waters or you don't want to break up the relationship. If you are coming into the relationship and you want to have that finance conversation, y'all need to have honest words about who's going to divide, how we're going to divide the money, how we're going to divide the finance,
Gotta
how we're
know.
going to do the bank account. Like, talk real questions. It's not, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, this is another broadcast right here because I'm about to go in
Yep.
on that, but I don't want to do it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't
You are
want to go there
correct.
either.
You are 100% correct. I'm trying, but I would love to have that conversation. I would love.
Sidebars. We're at
Like,
140. We're at
Shut up,
145 right
Smoke.
now.
yes,
If you'd like to
yes.
put 15 minutes worth of sidebars in, we can. But at 2 hours, we out of here.
Your call. Your
Any
call. I'm
sidebars?
game. I got 15 good minutes if y'all want to. I really could.
I'm sure we all do because we had we had a lot going on. Like I said, we covered some of the things, and as this conversation continues on the sidebar, if anybody has any
Comments.
throwback thoughts to the earlier presentation, you could also bring that back up as well.
well,
I would
she
love to see in the comments what people think about the title and what their opinion is of it.
Okay.
Because a lot of what I was doing as I looked at the hashtag, that's how a lot of my thoughts started coming in.
Gotcha.
Why would they do that? Bills. What's the burden? Kids. What about the brokenness? You're gonna go right back to where you was in the first damn place. I ran through all three of them in my head while I was looking at it.
Bills, burden, and brokenness.
Yes.
So they talked
Tony.
about the mortgage. That was at the end of the presentation. She was talking about the housing markets. So we
Yep.
She
didn't go
did speak on the
about
housing market and
We
the
actually
single
stayed
mom
on.
doing that. Section A is going to take care of that rent regardless. I meant to say that earlier. Whatever the rent is, if you got kids, you file for it. You can go to certain areas. They're going to give you Section A for where you like. You may not be in the best place. You're going to get the minimum standards. That's another aspect of being a thought. You'll have the money. You can't properly spend it because you can't file any taxes. You're not going to pay back the taxes on it. So you're going to live somewhere small, not have a whole lot. So you got to make what you got look like that right there. Good luck. Don't do it. Stay in school.
Is being a thought a small business? Is that a small
Is being a
business
thought-
expense?
It is. I would consider it.
All business expense.
I would call it underground. I would call it underground because you can't show your money.
Thottery from the like you're talking about like from streetwalkers, strippers, sex workers.
Yes.
No, not those girls. No, I'm talking about the regular thoughts.
Or
The
just a
one
regular
that like
You can show that if you're a thought. That's what thoughts do. They go on what you call it, like show off the little trinkets and stuff. You know what I'm
I'm talking
saying?
about the girls
And you
who
run
go
out of
on
trinkets to show off. You
Instagram.
just shake your booty on TV so we can watch. Just do something. Like you're just doing too much. Like I don't got nothing new to show. Fuck it. Let me just bounce it real quick.
Bounce that ass.
And I'm not saying I don't enjoy it.
million
'Cause
likes.
I'm just watching. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. Y'all keep bouncing, keep nodding, keep doing what you do. Because me, I'm good. I'm just sitting back with popcorn, laughing and making jokes about shit. So.
And I'm not
appreciate
attacking. I don't think anybody should feel attacked on how we covered what we had because these are actually things that's happened. I understand the disagreements because some people aren't seeing what we see, but y'all are telling me stuff I don't know too. That's why I think the aspects of marriage and what should be done before that, especially the finances, will be a hell of a topic. Half of y'all up here married, the other half of us are getting divorced, and the rest of y'all already divorced. So I would love.
Already divorced.
I know. So you already. I'm still going through mine, and then the aspect of the bank accounts, I'm down with the separate. That's gonna be the controversy right there. I'm gonna take a nap before that broadcast on purpose.
Wait. You said back up, Tony. What you say about the bank accounts?
I'm down with separate.
Separate.
I'm with that.
I'm glad
I
because
am
the
so
people
with
who
that,
aren't,
Tony.
the ones who are not, I would definitely refer you to that Tyler Perry play. All of you Tyler Perry fans know exactly which play I'm talking about. When the woman got married, the husband ran to Vegas, spent all the money, she couldn't do nothing to get it back. What you gonna say then? When you share bank accounts, the bank's gonna tell you if you gave authorization to somebody else, there's nothing you can do about it. You have no case. Good luck, damn it.
I had
Speaking of
separate
Tyler
but
Perry.
equal. I had separate
Go
but
ahead, Tony.
equal. So we would put monies into. I made a bit more than he did, so I put a little bit more into the share. We had a shared account, so we would put that money in a shared account, and that paid all the bills. And then we would keep the rest. Like he would keep his own, and I would keep my own.
I think that's the best route to take. I think that's the best route to take, actually. If for those out there that are married. But you know what? Each situation is different because there are situations where the men are comfortable with working, coming home, handing over the check to the woman. Sometimes the women are better.
Yes.
It's traditional. It's more of a traditional thing. Like, okay, the man go earn the bring home the bacon. But
And
in today's
then
society,
fried up in the
bacon.
pan. Yeah.
Yep. So bring your bacon home. So not just they're
Can
both
I
bringing
find
home
that guy?
bacon,
Where is that guy at?
right?
Right.
You both bringing
Now
home
looking
bacon.
for them sugar mamas.
Here you go. See, Frida
Have a
the lesson
joint
here.
account for households.
Have
See, Frida,
expensive
that's what it gets. That's
and
what gets crazy
individual
to me.
account. Yes, that makes sense. Yes,
It
like
gets crazy to me because there's no trust to the
Mhm.
individual account once you got a combined account. I've seen a lot of relationships where why do you have a separate bank account? One, because one of y'all is spending too much. How am I spending too much when this is requirements and priorities? Well, if I try to do something I need to the same way that you are, then we got an argument. See, that's a whole big old mess right there. And it's happening. Me and the wife had separate bank accounts when we got married. She brought up, we talked about finances before we got married. She
Don't
said,
tell
"You
them
think
too
we
much of your personal business, though.
I won't. No, well, I'm not. Well, I ain't gonna. I'm not talking bedroom. I'm talking real. So my whole thing is. Well, yeah, I'm just giving. I'm gonna give them the real though because I'm not fronting on her.
Go
She
ahead,
wanted
Tony.
me to do joint bank accounts. I said, "There's no need for us to do joint bank accounts because I have mine, you have yours. Both of us know we take care of our own bills because both of us had our own place when we met, and we both know that both of us had our own place for a duration. We're not talking no 6-month lease. We're not talking no 1-year lease. Both of us knew that we had our place for at least 5 years apiece.
Okay.
So we're going to move in together. I do believe I can trust you with your finances, with your history. If you have maintained your responsibilities long enough, you understand the purpose of having your own credit. If you got your own credit, no matter what, you good. That's a mentality we don't discuss.
You have to have good credit, not just credit.
Well, yes, and I give you that. But if you've maintained your mortgages and your bills, your credit's pretty much good. If you had to transfer everything, it's not a problem, especially with the city. Everybody knows if you transfer utilities or whatever, as long as your credit was good, they took your down payment off. Your rental history will show up. You try to get your own place and you can't get in, you need a co-signer. That's a hit and a half. All that. I mean, we could be here all day on that. Definitely discuss the finances. Definitely discuss how you want to do things. And for the love of God, what changes are you going to make once you have children? That is another monster in a lot of relationships that people don't want to discuss. We have got to stop as a people. I'll say this to the African Americans. I'm going to say this to the young folks trying to get married. I'm going to say this to the old folks getting remarried. I'm going to talk this to everybody who's ever trying to be in a comfortable relationship with anybody. When kids come into play, finances change. Don't give a damn what you planned. And a bunch of people, you got to get a new house. You got to get a better car because you know what you spend and what you buy right now is got to last you at least a decade. Me and the wife didn't have. I told her she wanted to get a house. Okay, we got to find a way to make more money and do something else. I knew my job was going to come up. She was trying to find another job. I said, no, leave it alone. She wanted to get a separate bank account. I said, for what? We need an emergency bank account. Why do we need an emergency bank account? Both of us got 2 bank accounts already, but you want to have one as a joint for him. It took me 6 months. I was like, okay, fine, cool. We did all that. Now he's got an account. We got our accounts. Money's going all over the place. Now you want to start something else for retirement. Why are you doing all this when we already got retirement on the job? You got to have these discussions. Some of y'all don't have retirements. You never have enough money until you have a surplus for an emergency. One of the greatest ways to save money is to save at least 10 to 30% of what you make in a year. And I know a lot of people like, do what? I say, yeah, save 10 to 30% of what you make in a year. And that's after taxes.
That's The Richest Man in Babylon. I got to read that book. The Richest Man in Babylon. If you haven't
figured that out by now when you're a grown-up, you've got a lot to learn.
Well, I'm not even fronting on it because you know what it is? Priorities, responsibilities to get on your feet and to maintain being on your feet has taken over right now. Nobody can think properly economically.
Yeah.
So to the young folks up here right now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, don't worry about that new car. Don't worry about them $150 shoes. Don't worry about them $120 shirts. Whatever you make in a year, 10% need to be in the bank somewhere. If you're not doing that, you're doing something wrong.
Easier said than done for most. You know what I'm
that's my whole point right there. That's why I got to put it in their head now. We can show them diagrams when we got to talk to them. Even when I was only making $4 or $5 an hour, I was always trying to save something. There was a point when an emergency hit, my savings was gone every year. Let me put that in y'all's head right now. Whatever you save can be gone just like that. That's why you'll never save enough. Let your car break down. Let your apartment catch on fire. Let you have to go to the hospital. You got to pay the hospital bill.
Get a job, get insurance.
Wait a minute, you ain't playing that out of town trip yet. You know everybody work, they got to go out of town once a year. You ain't got money for that yet either. Y'all ain't thinking hard enough. Stop thinking about right now and start planning for the future. That's the only way you're going to make it. I used to live that day by day life, and that right now life, it don't last. After 2 years, I was like, this is bullshit.
We'll let the thoughts know that, definitely.
That's right. Yeah, let me get back. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the Fox thing. Yeah. I was about to go in for real.
It's all good. But Frida, no, we on sidebars.
Yes, okay.
Let's be serious. So if you have everything individually, then why marry? Let me answer
Mind
that.
you, for those, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
For me,
I'll piggyback after you. Go ahead.
I will take this blow myself.
Go for it.
This is not Sunday Night Smooth, not T-Rolling, just I will take this one all by myself. One of the reasons why I say keep everything individually, even when you're married, I will refer right back not only to that Tyler Perry play, I will refer right back to that Tyler Perry movie. I will refer to any and every movie we have seen where marriages broke up and somebody left with all the money and the other one couldn't do nothing.
Yep.
I'm sorry. If a bank account is going to stop your marriage, something wrong. Marriage is supposed to be about trusting who you be with, trusting who you're with, and the two of you staying together.
Ever remember the love aspect of this?
Well, thank you. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Trusting who you're with, knowing the two of you can come home to each other with nothing to worry about, ain't got nothing to do with the bank account. And I understand where you're coming from, Frida. I'm not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not mad at you, but a lot of what I've seen, them joint bank accounts, you screwed.
Let me jump in. Check it out.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to if you have everything individually, then why marry? Well, Frida, I would think first that and I do value your opinion. Thanks for participating in the chat. I think that
Absolutely.
as an individual, you need to shout out to Cookie Johnson. As an individual, you need to be established yourself, both parties, preferably before the marriage in today's society. Like, she has a little decent job, you have a little decent job, and you're building together, as Frida Gillespie says. But you can actually, I think you could still build together. I can build together if I have a separate account and my lady has a separate account, and we're both, as T. Roney alluded to earlier, putting money into a neutral account for us together to pay the bills, cover the expenses, and to save for rainy days, as well as each of us individually will have a few coins in our own private stash for emergency as well. So I hope that gave a little
Raising my hand.
explanation. Go ahead, Roni. Go for it, ma. Just tell me to shut
Depending
up.
depending on the state that you are in, it does
Mhm.
not matter if you have an individual account. If
Oh
you are
wow.
married, that individual account is still a shared account.
Yes. When you go to
Depending
court,
on
Oh,
the
okay.
yes.
state
When you
that
go to
you are
court,
in.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't
So
know that.
just
Oh,
FYI.
okay. That's listen.
That's good stuff. That's
We
good stuff right there.
amongst opinion radio, we also give information that's valuable.
Yeah,
Sifting the
yeah. Just
opinion
take
and
that.
and get
Remember
facts.
that,
Right,
y'all.
Kimmy? Hello, Kimmy.
431 out there, and have the
Right.
discussion. It's important to have that honest discussion about fat dance. We're not saying don't get married.
Yeah, we got
Have
to break all that down for real because there's
yeah.
so many different aspects. And Frida's right in what she's saying and what she's asking for real. For the people
Absolutely.
that it does work out for, God bless. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart because I know so many people getting taken advantage of, especially as somebody who has been overseas during the war and seen guys losing their mind because their girl back home to clean the bank account using the car in the house and they out there running the streets and you 6,000 miles away and can't do shit about it. Yeah, I'm a little biased. I'm sorry.
And you got your life on the line as well.
Facts.
Yep.
Yes.
And we all know women who was dealing with somebody in the military and they was doing that dirt.
Hey,
Yep.
listen.
They was doing
Yes.
that dirt.
Because when the cat's away, the mouse will play.
Back to the
Right.
thottery. Back to the thottery. Right back to the point. Yep. It's not cute.
This
It's
is
not
for male mice and female mice because
right,
there are
right,
women
right.
in the services that have
Mhm.
the husband that are deployed. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
let's not go over talking bad about the women. There are women that are deployed as well. Okay, service
Yes.
members as well, and the husband
Absolutely.
not thinking. So for those that really don't tune into the show, we take turns. We throw the men and the women under the bus. Anybody
It's
that
equal opportunity. Yeah, we we
we
we
throw
we, we
everybody
gotta
under
be
the bus
real.
over
Yeah,
here.
you gotta be
So
real on both sides. There's no
we
bias
yes, let's have
because
these real
we
conversations.
seek the input of all of you on purpose. Because as much as we gotta focus, there's shit we don't know. We
Yeah.
gotta be clear. The information we given is never the absolute truth.
Right.
That's why
Mhm.
you got different aspects up here.
Mm,
And that goes
facts.
for every conversation. Even when I do mine, and people be like, "Why you let it go left? Why you gotta let it right?" Somebody's gonna tell me some shit I don't know. I don't give a damn what I read.
There's always going to be information. Of course.
Yes,
Let me hit
yes. I
OG.
know what you're saying, OG Classic. You good? I already got you.
We're going to
I
read that
already
out.
got you. Yeah.
OG Classic's opinion. He says, my philosophy is that I can take none of this shit with me when I die. I don't need a separate account, and I don't actually care if she has a nest egg. I hope she's setting up for life when I'm not here. I keep my little something in my pocket. Big up OG.
Yes, OG Classic. Yes, I have to clap for you. If
You're
nobody
right
else
though.
does, I'm clapping
You
for you.
1,000. That's 1,000 though.
Facts,
Only
that's
some states will allow
facts.
that in the court. It has to be a state that has community prop laws like California.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, community property. That's absolutely correct.
I'm only visiting Cali. Fuck that.
Man, what you talking about? What you talking about?
I'll do a week most. I'm not staying out there, let alone.
I'm gonna
doing
find a
all
minimum.
that.
I'm gonna find a minimum residential standard, and I'm leaving before that bamboo.
Oh man, Kimmy, talk to us. You too quiet over there. What's good?
You know
I
I'm
know you
always
got-
quiet.
I know how you rock, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I need some.
Shit.
I need a little more smoke for the road.
Excuse you, Tony D.
There you go. Get
I'm
'em.
all right. I'm gonna go live next. I'm gonna wait on you.
Man, get you
So
some
you all heard it
business.
first. After
I
he
got
concludes
plenty
the
in this.
show, Tony D will go live on you.
I will
Don't
go live right after this. Come on
don't
up there
sleep.
if you want to. Call your cousin. He invited
Call my
too, damn
cousin.
it. Call your cousin. He invited too.
Call my cousin.
Man.
You good, OG Classic. You good.
OG, yeah. We gotta
That
get
is
OG. We gotta get you on a panel one of these days, OG.
He's having issues trying to come on live. I've talked to him a
Yeah,
couple times about setting everything up. Yeah.
he mentioned that. Yeah, having some tech issues, fam. We gonna get you in the mix, OG. Thanks for pulling up every week. I see you out there, man. I appreciate your support and your participation. Cookie Johnson, once again, having a good time with it.
Cookie popping up every now and then. What's up, Cookie?
This is all good. This is all good. So we at the 2 hour. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shut it in a hot second. We want to take one last round, closing comments, all that good stuff, and where we can follow you and your page. Let's see. We will start with. Oh wait, hold on 1 second. That's the main. Ted Hicks in the building. What's up, Ted Hicks? That's the main ingredient. Accounts, shared and separate, both work. However, you need to have a strong foundation prior to discussions about sharing assets, etc. There you go, Ted. That makes good sense, my friend. And yes, he is married with children, and he's doing a good job at what he does, man. I gotta give that brother a shout out
Big
for
ups.
a working marriage. And Frida says facts. Yeah, Frida, that's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up in a hot New York minute. Kimmy, you want to start it up? If you have any final
Yep,
closing comments,
I can start it off.
let's rock
So
on everything, whatever. We covered anything.
Bideisms and all that good jazz. This is what I'll sum it up and say. It's really unfortunate that we have these type of things that's going on in society. I really wish that we could go back a few years and get some more of that old school raising mentality for, you know what I'm
That's it.
saying, for everybody, for the men and for the women. I'm so sorry. You'll never catch me out here looking like a thot. I was taught to respect myself and to be an upstanding citizen, and I follow my mother's example. She was a regal, classy woman. I don't play that. Anywho, this was a good conversation though today, for real though.
I
It was
love it.
real good. Y'all can catch me at Kimi Kali RMBG on Facebook, and you can catch me at RMBG 925 on Instagram, and then you can catch me as Kimi Kali Powers on the Hep Space. Peace.
Woo-wee. Kimi Powers. I gotta actually pronounce your name a little better. Kimi, not Kimmy. Kimi.
It's
Is
Kimi Kali, but I
yeah,
appreciate
Kimi
it.
Kali.
I
Yes, I
truly
gotta
appreciate it.
put
And
some
I don't
respect.
Put some
for it. Go
respect on my name, man.
Kimi Kelly Powers in the building. Thanks for pulling up and joining us for the chat. I was
Thanks for
hoping
having me. I appreciate it.
it's all good. I appreciate it even more, my sister. Let's see.
Yeah.
Tony D. Get him. Go for it, my brother.
I want to apologize for the background noise. I'm a responsible father. Let my kid have his leeway.
Don't
He
sweat
had a
it.
good time today, so this is a way it's working on his behavior in school. Letting him be him. That's number one. Number two, since Kimi Kali over there wants to throw
Yes.
herself out there, big up to her for real, because what y'all saw tonight, we do every damn time we talk, and we have fun with it. She is strong with it. She's giving me some excellent advice, so I got to bow down to half of what she does up here. And it's probably going to work when I get back out there in the streets. I'll be pumping gas. I already do other things. Big up to T-Ronnie. Big up to T-Ronnie over there. The divine thespian that she is out there acting and working and getting her scenes on and changing her hairdo every broadcast. She's the first lady of Sunday Smoke podcast. Big ups to her. Big ups to my man Sunday Smoke for holding your boy down, allowing me on the show, even amongst my antics, and me letting me do my stuff. Now, back to the original topic. Y'all stop these women from being hoes. Teach how to be women again. Plain and simple.
Right.
Tony D.
You are more than your body.
Get him. More
Ladies,
than body.
say it again. You ladies, you women, you little girls growing to be ladies and women, you are worth more than sex. I don't give a damn what we say, how we act, how hard we try. We can respect the no. We hate it, but we can respect it. The ones that cuss you out probably gonna get knocked out by the real jokers because they're only looking for it for the night. I've never cursed a woman out for not giving me none. I've actually said I'll wait if I wanted her bad enough if she looked that good, and I'll be half guilty of looking contradictory. It's all that. There are women out here that's gonna carry themselves properly that look better than them with their clothes off. Amen to that shit all day long because I know quite a few of them. No matter what goes on out there, no matter what goes on out there, make sure you take care of yourself. Never demean yourself. You don't have to be the hardest to be the realest. And you don't have to make the most to be the most reliable. If you can remember that phrase right there, you're gonna make it pretty far out there. You want to be independent women, you want to be strong women, but you also want to be respected. Any woman that I ever dealt with, I've always told them 2 things your kids are going to see when they see you with me. They're going to see you as their mother, and they're going to see you as a woman. They're not going to see you as anything else. If a dude doesn't treat you like that in front of the kids, don't deal with him. You ain't that alone. You are not that alone. You better get your ass up here on Haps and holler at us every damn day. We talk junk all damn day. You'll never be alone messing with us. You'll never, yes, right. You'll never be alone messing with us. We conversate all day. We clear each other's minds all day. And we got black, white, north, south, east, west, American, European, Asian, Australian. We all up in here. The fish coming on next month. Y'all better watch out what's going on.
Worldwide.
You are not alone. You got people that don't come on camera. You got people that stay on camera. You got people that can't stop talking. You got people talking about everything up here. You're not alone. You do not have to give yourself up to somebody to have somebody in your life. You don't.
And
Y'all
if you
kill
start
it now.
if you start hearing whispers, run the other direction because the whispers ain't good.
I be trying to be serious.
But for real, it's your own intuition speaking to you like this is not a good look. Let me get
This is not a good look. Yeah. But for real, y'all follow me up here. Tony Dion Hass. Big ups to T Roney. Big ups to Kimmy Kylie. Big ups to Sunday Night Smoke. Big ups to everybody in the chat. I'll probably come on after this for about an hour. I see I'm going to need to. I feel like I'm going to want to, and I want every mother. It's going to be my turn. It's going to be my turn. It's going to be my turn. Appreciate you, homie.
Let me do the building, y'all. I'm gonna bring you down, big brother.
All right, you
Thanks
good.
for joining us, man.
Oh,
as
yeah.
usual. All right. T-Roney, talk to me, sis. What are we having?
I can't say nothing after Tony D. Shoot, and his
Yes,
monologue.
you can. Yes, you can. Come on. Yes, you can. Don't even do me like that. Don't
You
even do
can
me like that. Yes, you can. Come on. Come on with Duke jersey on. Duke.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Fabio Haps is T. Rody Robinson. Haps, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. The end. Thanks, Tony.
I gotta bring it back in. I love when you do that, when you rock that.
And thank you, Ace, for having us on the show. Kimmy Kylie, thank you for pulling up with me because we needed a woman to talk to the grandma.
Yeah.
We needed that discussion.
Girl, you know I got you.
Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for your input as well. Because I didn't mean to say we taking over, but we wanted to
go for it, man. Come on.
Be, have that female tell the female, just how Kimmy kind of say what we're saying, how we have to teach the younger and the youth. Because we're not teaching them. We're just telling them, but we're not teaching them. So now we have to start teaching them. And that's where I wanted us to come in and actually have that discussion. So thank you guys for giving us a platform.
We're going to teach them. Damn that. We're going to teach them. We cannot let them make the mistakes we made in the past. We can't. No disrespect to what you said, but we cannot let the youth make the mistakes that we made. I want them paying attention on purpose.
No, and we can't mislead them as well. We have to make sure that we're sending things in the right direction. Some people may think my views are ultra conservative, this, that, and the other. But as OG Classic highlighted earlier, this is opinion radio. Okay, so this is how we do it. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Everybody in the chat room, Frida Gillespie, Cookie Johnson, Ted Hicks. Let's see who we had in the building. OG Classic for sure. We will catch you. We got to get you up here on the panel with us. Let's see who else we had in the building. Let me scroll through this right here. We had a kind of tightly knit audience here. Let's see, scrolling.
Oh,
We had a lot of
Blazing. We
comments.
had Blazing.
Blazing Blasphemer in the building. Yes, can't forget him. We had
Blaze
a
was
few
in the
detractors.
building. Joy was in the building. Yeah,
Joy.
a few
In the
detractors.
building. Thanks for pulling up, Joy. Yes. I miss you, Joy. That's cool. Thank you for pulling up. For the detractors, please unsubscribe and stay away from here because we don't appreciate your bad press in our chat rooms. Thank you to the
Yep.
moderators for shutting down the negative press.
Excuse me.
And we're gonna keep smoking over here, man. You know what I'm saying? So once again, we'll catch you next. Actually, I have an announcement on Thursday, which is Veterans Day. Number one, I'd like to say salute to all of our men and women serving the armed forces. Okay. We have Veterans Day coming up. Okay. And we will have a special edition of Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that is, on Veterans Day. And I'm going to be doing a review of the first year in term of Mr. Joe Biden, our president. So this is going to be a first year in office review, and it could possibly turn into a roast, depending. So we're going to cover a few topics. We're going to give our opinion on the president, the vice president, how this new administration is working, what they've accomplished so far, and what we hope they will accomplish in the next 3 years upcoming. Okay, so that's going to be on Veterans Day, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So we want to big that up. Okay, if y'all could come through, I would love it. And also next Sunday, for the usual 7 p.m. Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. Okay, thanks once again, everybody, for joining us. Kimmy Kali live, Tony D live, T Roney live on the panel, me, myself, Mr. Smoke. And on those closing notes, where there's fire, there will be smoke. Let's go. That bass is so heavy. It's like shaking. It's shaking the studio. You look like you're spanking it, Tony D. Let me get Yo, thanks for pulling up, y'all. Have a good one. For those out there still tuned in, Tony D will be going live, so check Tony D out on Haps TV on the Tony D Network.
Yeah, I'm coming up. I'm gonna pull up on that.
Be pulling up. We'll be there in 2 minutes. T Roney, Kimmy Kali, pull up.
Yes.
We're going to Tony D's.
Okay, we're going to Tony D's.
Tony D's, y'all. That's where the party's at. Thank you, everybody, for joining us once again. Sunday night smoke. Let's go.
Okay, let me.